All right, so here we are, another episode of Our Friends Need a Role Model.
New role model off the Zoolander shit.
Yo, I'm like a role model.
We rappers is role models. We rap, we don't think.
I never had a role model.
You want me to be your kid's role model?
No role models, and I'm here right now. No role models to speak up.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to drown myself.
Bro, we watched all night long.
You can be just like me.
We are the role models.
It is quite.
Unfortunately and fortunately.
But anyway, man.
We're not going to cut each other off while we talk.
You have a shelf life as an entertainer, right? And at a certain...
cut you off, bro.
Yeah, don't bumper sticker me right now.
Jody, you in front of you want once I be off, you're done to me. You're dead to me.
Angie, what are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm ignoring you
She's
guys.
watching other podcasts.
This is gonna be good.
One thing I do know is that our friends need role models.
My friends need a role model. I think I'll play that role just fine. My friends need a role model. I think I'll play that role just fine. My friends need a role model. I think I'll play that role just fine. My friends need a role model. I think I'll play that role just fine.
Friends need a role model.
I need a role. Oh, they do.
The man that made it possible.
You know how this works? Jay doesn't know how this works. Jay, we gotta introduce you first.
Oh,
Jay.
okay. Yeah, you can't just jump out the window.
On set.
Yeah, you
No,
jumping
you're
out
on
the
set,
window
but we
with
need
no,
to
like, bro, you was
make
jumping
sure
out the window with
you
no
hug
bungee
that
cords
bitch
just
real
now.
What happened?
You was jumping out that window with no bungee cords.
Yo,
right now.
what's up,
ladies
yo?
and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. New episode of My Friends in a Role Model. We have a guest in the building.
So,
No. Unfortunately, you're here every day with me, too.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's just
know.
hard. It's a hard life, bro.
We have
Minimum wage.
producer extraordinaire, J.Cardim in the building.
Retired producer.
That's a lie.
extraordinaire.
We're not going for that, my job.
No, it's cool because when you're retired, you become legendary and you have a lot of words of wisdom for the audience.
So yeah.
So J. Cardim's in the building.
Retired producer, 30 years producing.
He's been producing since the womb. To give people a little
About
recap.
37 years in the game.
Yeah, facts. About 37 years.
To
in the
give
game.
people
At
a
24.
little, to give people a little insight on who Jay is in case y'all fucking living under a rock somewhere.
Or in case y'all forgot, because, you know, it's been
In
a
case
while.
A lot of niggas forget, yeah.
This man has worked with the likes of Lil Wayne
And Big Wayne.
and Big Wayne, little known artist Big Wayne, Ludacris, Fabolous, French Montana.
Tuge.
The list goes on and on. Tuge.
Can't forget Joe Budden.
Joe, we'll get to that. The list goes on and on. Jay,
Old dirty bastard.
well, welcome to my crib, man. You're coming all the way from Boston, so I
Yes,
appreciate
It
that.
was a pleasure, and I actually like the crib a lot. I might move in if you would rent me a room.
Nah, I'm already sleeping.
I gotta
over.
build you a room, but
Yeah, I see you building one back there
nothing's
for the cats.
nothing's impossible.
Right?
Nothing's
The
impossible.
kitty room.
Yo, Jay. So,
Yeah.
I mean, unless Tug wants to just be your friend for a second, I
Tug, I'm your friend.
I have many
Hey,
questions
Jay,
for
you're
you
mine.
that the audience wants to know about.
All right, so
Go
I
ahead.
mean, first and foremost, you know, I want to say thank you for giving us a beat, man. You're a really nice guy about that. And
Yes.
also,
Jay did produce our intro track.
Even though they took my tag off, but you know it's all
no,
love.
just Lou took your
Nah,
tag
he
off.
keep the niggas trying to scrap me
Took
about
my
that for
tag off.
months. He's like, yo, you took my tag off. So
He
he
sent
going
me
to
the
studio.
picture of the cover of the beat with no tag.
Facts.
No, because you know what the problem was? You know how Tug always
I know,
raps on the beat as soon as the song starts?
And Took is one of those rappers that puts a lot of words in a small amount of bars.
Exactly.
So I hate
So,
that.
So we
I do
wanted
that.
to fly your tag somewhere else, but Lou needed the shit without the
And
background.
I was out of town and it was in my laptop and I had my laptop.
You send it
So
to
Jay
us.
was like, yo, Jay thought it was like my single. He was like, this is
You
not
send it to
Tug.
us and we throw it in there.
Doodles this. I'm like, nah, bro, it's for the podcast. He's like, oh, all right. Nah. But bro, if I would have just sent it to him like as a regular record, he'd be like, oh, nah, Pippin,
Yo,
you
I
fell
thought,
off
like,
bad.
what happened
Pip.
with this dude?
This nigga fell off bad.
Yo,
Pip.
Jay. So first of all, we had you.
Yo, if you really dropped the record, what is it, my friends?
Need a role model.
My friends need a role. Yo, Jay, I won't take
gotta
that
be
level of
confident.
disrespect. You're on the podcast. You need to know what it's called,
Just
Jay.
violating our podcast on our podcast too.
Oh, shit.
Okay, all right, cool.
Crazy.
Let's jump into it,
You need
Jay.
a role
Let's do
model,
it.
my nigga.
Yo, so I want to start at the early beginnings, Jay.
All right.
I want to start with when you first started producing, because as far as my understanding is, you kind of, it was in your family, right? It was in your blood.
Yeah,
Music,
I mean, music
right?
in general was in my blood, yeah. But
Yeah.
I wasn't producing, I was rapping before I was producing.
Oh, I know that. Whoa, we're gonna get to that, my friend.
Yeah, we're gonna get to
I'll
those
spit a bar.
bars.
But talk to us a little bit about how you just jumped into just doing music.
The quick
in
story
general.
is I realized that rapping ain't gonna get me paid. Making beats was, so I quit rapping.
Yeah, but when you started
But-
rapping, how'd you get it? Like, what was your
Right.
love for
So-
music?
So how it started was growing up, my
get a little
dad
closer.
always played
Yeah, I was
music
about
in
to
the
say,
house.
yeah.
Since I was.
Well, your dad's a musician,
Yeah, my
right?
dad's a musician,
Yeah.
plays the piano, to travel around the world. He just came back from Kuwait on tour, which is crazy. Kuwait 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you saw the pictures. Kuwait.
He's currently still touring?
He just got back, yeah. Last week,
God.
last
His
Monday.
pops is God, bro. His pops is younger than all of us.
Anyway, yeah, his pops is OG. My pops is OG,
Yeah, his
way
pops
younger than
is.
us, getting way more popping than all of us in this room right now.
Facts with shit.
But so I always grew up around music. So I was actually talking about it yesterday because I was at the studio all day and all night. And the guy Chaz, he's nice with the guitar and bass.
He really is, bro.
Now I remember when I was young, my first instrument I learned how to play was the drums. Easy.
Well, what did your dad play? He plays everything?
Everything: piano, flute, drums, bass,
He's a god.
guitar, self-taught trumpet.
walking instrument.
But his main instrument was piano. But anyway, so I started playing the drums, and I kept like a metronome kind of beat for him, and he would play the piano bang. I started doing this when I was about 5. But when I was about 7, he put me in piano school because he wanted me to understand music theory and how to understand the chords and notes and melodies and all that. So I started learning how to play piano. And but the thing about piano at the time for me, I just thought it was too preppy. I wanted something that was like drums was a little bit more something, or bass, which I got into it when I got a little older. But when I started understanding music more, and I started making my own decisions to what I listened to, I fell in love with hip hop. Which, to be honest, the first artist I fell in love with, might sound crazy, I don't know if even Tug knows, was Snoop Dogg. Yeah,
Okay.
When he was fucking 7.
He was brand new, fetal.
Yo, but nah, that
Fetal
makes sense
Tug.
because I mean, Snoop's like I always tell everyone, Snoop's the most famous rapper ever, though. Everyone knows Snoop's is.
Yeah.
Might not be the most highest paid. Might not be. The,
I mean, I don't
you know
even care
what I'm
about who
saying?
the highest paid. It's about whoever, it's about the drive, the motivation.
And the household
the
brand, that's
colors,
what he
and the
is.
inspiration, everything
Yeah.
that I got. But the thing about Snoop, so obviously I was 7 years old, or 8, I'm sorry, I was like 10 years old when I got hip to Snoop.
Right.
I didn't know the whole backstory about Dre, NWA, Dre being a producer yet. But what I heard when I first heard Snoop's album, so this is the crazy shit. So I heard, his singles that was out, Gin and Juice and all the other joints that he had dropped.
Yeah.
And I just asked my dad to buy the album for me because we were at Tower Records and I was 10 years old, so I had to,
Right.
he needed a parent to buy it. So he
Yeah,
buys it
parental
for me.
advisory is
I had
what it
no
was.
idea how
With
fucking
the curses and all that?
Yo,
Oh, he was lit.
I learned everything off that.
Facts.
What doggy style, this, getting head,
Smoking
shit that I
bud,
never
all
heard
of
about.
that lit shit.
Blunts,
He
40s,
was a
this. I
god.
started sipping 40s when I was 13 years old because of Snoop's album. But that's another story. Anyway, but one thing that stuck out to me about Snoop's production, how it was everything, bro. I feel like you can still play his beats today. Like a beat like Gin and Juice, somebody will kill today. A lot of the bass lines,
Hell
the
yeah.
riffs and all that, you know what I'm saying? It was very musical. Like, it was, even my pops used to say, he didn't even care about the swears and the lyrics. He was like, yo, this is actually dope. And he fell in love with Snoop. If you ask my dad, he said one of the favorite rappers that Jay always listened to was Snoop Dogg. So that's what got me into music in general. That's when I fell in love with hip hop.
Okay.
And then I started doing my research, and then Dr. Dre, The Chronic, then it was over.
Okay, so
When I
that
discovered
inspired you to
Chronics-
start producing your own shit.
Yeah, so no, that inspired me to produce my own shit. So when I was listening to Snoop and Dre and I got The Chronic, what I used to do, I used to loop the end of their beats in my karaoke. So when there was a 4 bars or 8 bar loop towards the end of the beat, or sometimes at the beginning of the beat, I'll just loop it, bang, bang, bang. So now I had this instrumental in the karaoke. If you flip the tape over one side, it play the beat backwards.
Right.
So I got
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
I'll flick. So it's kind of like how I first started making beats. So it'd be like Dre's beat. I just looped it and played it backwards, and I started
Right.
rapping.
You're
to that.
still the first person, bumper sticker, to do this shit that I met ever, producer.
Like what?
Reverse the track and
Right,
make
right.
a whole new beat out of it, bro.
Oh, yeah, like
he'll
sample
have
it.
like 3. So he'll have like 3 beats out of one beat because he reversed some
Yeah,
shit.
today we heard that.
Turned
So-
some shit
so
around,
with-
backflip,
all right,
cartwheel, those
So
type of shit.
sorry about that. My bad.
It's all right, keep
So Jay, do you remember your first beat ever that you produced? That you
Ever,
could say,
ever?
like, not like your first loop and you kind of want to fuck around, but like your first beat
My
that you said,
first
this is a
serious beat,
complete
yes, I
beat.
remember.
This is a
Complete
complete
beat.
beat.
Strong
Yes, so
about it.
I'll tell you about my first beat and my first complete beat. My first beat
And finish that food in your
was
mouth while
in
you're at
5th
it.
grade. My dad had a Lisa's keyboard, which allow you to do about 8 or 10 tracks, multi-tracks on the keyboard sequence. So I just did it boom, da, boom, boom, da. Very old school, and then boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. That was it. And it quantized. So that was my first beat. And I have a rap to that. Me and my boy Lex that you met.
And I know you remember
Yeah.
it.
I do remember it.
And you're gonna
Drop
spit
it.
it right
I
now.
can't even do it.
Bars, bro.
Just give us like 4 bars.
Nah, bro.
Give us 4.
Bartholomew's, B. We need
Bro, Tug
Bartholomew's.
spit his first bar. Go ahead, spit your first bars ever, Tug.
What I said,
I just spit the first bars of the beat.
Glock, snap, crackle, and pop like Rice Krispies. Leave niggas tie-dye red just like hippies. Nah, pull the trigger back. Time for that ticker cat. Aiming for that Yankee sign on your fitted cap. Gun make you run, just me in the heat. Bust out
How old were you when you
more
wrote that?
shells than you see on the beach.
No, he
like,
wasn't 8.
I was like 10.
10?
Boy, you were way better than I was when I was like,
Yo, bro, niggas said some shh.
Hi, I'm J.Cardim. That's
Yup.
what my name is.
I'm gonna be famous.
I was JC really, but you were close.
Hey, it's JC.
See, everybody know me.
Not Jesus Christ, but J.Cardim for life.
And the beat was boom, 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 boom. He
Name is
spit that bar.
My name is J.Cardim and the JC, and everybody knows how to do it.
With the karaoke
How I
machine.
rap on this beat. Woo!
With the karaoke
My first
machine.
real beat.
Come on.
So anyway, so that was in 5th grade. So I finished 8th grade in Boston. I moved to Brazil, back to Brazil for the second time. My parents didn't want me and my sister to lose the culture and So I had my dad's setup that he had at the house. Went to the back room, which was my room, which was the old studio that he built way back in the days before I was born and shit. So he had the whole speakers and the computer and all that, and he had a Cakewalk and Acid Pro in that. So that was the first
That's
program.
throw.
What year are we talking about right now?
we're
Like,
talking about
1997.
17 years
whoa.
1998 to
That's
be
crazy.
exact. Yeah.
1977.
I think I got my first computer in like 95.
Right. Yeah. We
Yeah.
got our we had an Apple computer and an
Shit
PC.
with the blue back
Yep.
shit and all
No,
that.
not even the blue back. The old shit. The
Old
old
one.
Yeah, I
shit.
had the blue back.
Big back.
We ain't get our money up yet.
Tanned.
Yeah.
We ain't get our money up to the blue back, John.
So so I made a beat so bang. So when I was in Brazil, I was listening to a lot of Modes Def and Telequali, Black Star, and I used to like high tech production on that. Very jazzy, but yeah, very hip hop, hard ass drum and bass. So my dad, being a jazz musician, had a whole bunch of jazz CDs. So Bad took all that shit and fucking started looping mad little piano riffs and samples. So one of my first beats that I made, bro, no bullshit, still fire till today. Was for this kid. I don't know if you met him when we were in Brazil. Shaolin. Conrado is
Maybe.
his real name.
I met
He's
Papa-
mad lit.
what was his name?
Papacino. He's another one.
Papacino, yeah.
Papacino, I remember that
Papacino,
name.
yeah, he's lit too. But Conrado is like childhood friend. He's lit too. He's fucking famous as shit. We went to a couple of his shows. He's lit. Anyway, so it was a record for him. And there was a project coming out, Hip Hop Rio, and they put that record and used it as #1, put it at #1 on the CD, bro. And that shit was a single everywhere in Brazil. And that shit took off literally months before I moved back to the States. And my boy Conrado called me all the time, like, dog, you don't even understand. You know, this is getting serious.
supposed to
It's getting
catch that
serious.
wave.
And I was supposed to catch that wave. He ended up catching his wave. You know, he's lit over there, but
So my next question was really going to be about your first placement. Would you
Yeah,
would
me
you consider
too.
that your
I was
first
gonna ask you
placement?
that.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, technically, yeah, that'd be my first placement. I never got paid or anything, but that was the first time my beat with my what's it called? Credit was on there. You know what I'm saying? As JC though, I wasn't J.Cardim yet, so it's just
Okay.
produced by
So
JC.
what about like
You missed all that ass cat.
I missed all the
facts.
ARDM.
Yeah. Yo, so what about your first
ARDIM.
like famous? You know what I'm saying? Like
First
famous person,
placement.
we would say placement.
placement? I mean,
Well, that was famous, but just
I
in
mean,
South
just
America.
not our type of famous, American famous. My nigga, take
I
that
don't know. I
percentage
mean,
over there.
it depends what you consider famous. I mean, my first level up placement would have to be Jean Grey in 2003. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
All right, so if you want to talk money wise, that was the first time that I got $1,000 a beat. It was a Jean Grey placement in 2003.
Did you get royalties afterwards?
I still get royalties till today for that. One of the records I did on her album got picked up by Beauty Shop, the soundtrack, which I still see a nice check for till today.
To this
You didn't know that?
No,
It
I
got
didn't
picked
know
up
that.
in 06.
I don't get the J.Cardim newsletter that's like J.Cardim just pocketed beauty
Word
shop
of
money.
man. Queen Latifah's looking for J.Cardim with her purse.
Right. So how about, but like in your circle, right? Like say you move back to Boston after that, right? You got like a bunch of friends that rap and stuff like that.
yeah.
So you're getting beats off to them left
Yeah,
and
but
right,
I wasn't
right?
charging at the time.
You weren't charging at the
Of
time?
course not. I mean, I didn't have a name. So, I mean, you have to build a name by getting your beats to the artists that are dope.
So how did you build your name though? What was the process?
Zach.
His manager Zach, which
that was here on
pressing
Friday.
everybody with your shit.
Yeah,
Like, yo,
Zach
listen,
was in
bro.
everybody's face. Like, yo,
Yeah.
you got to listen to the dead ass, bro. Yo,
Always.
so when I met Kanye West was the same day I met Jean Grey, which I got the placement I just told you about.
All right.
But Kanye West wasn't lit yet. He had dropped Through the Wire, but he wasn't Kanye West, obviously. He was
he
performing at
wasn't
SOB,
easy.
so
Yeah,
you already
yeah.
know what kind of Kanye West we're talking about.
Right.
And it was me and Chris. I don't know if you know CZ. You know CZ, right?
Yeah, of
Chris.
course, yeah.
So
Chief C.
Yeah, Chief C. So we went
Yeah,
out to
shout out my nigga CZ.
I was still living in Boston. I came out to New York to stay with Zach, me and Chris. And we were gonna go watch Kanye West and Jean Grey perform, and we came out with the CDs, blah 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 blah. So we outside before the set starts, and Zach is talking to Kanye West, and Kanye West is super intrigued to Zach. He's like, focused, like, you know, Zach talking.
Yeah, but that type of shit, niggas know Zach is speaking from
and
the
Kanye,
soul.
you know, he's a nerd
You
too.
can feel him coming from the soul.
Talking
Yeah,
about this. Zach is bringing up
Hip-hop
equipment
fan
that he
nerd
made. This
niggas.
beat, I didn't even know about that. I didn't even know Kanye West like that. But the point of the story is, Kanye was so intrigued to Zach that he had Kanye come to me to meet me, bro.
It's comedy how you
That's
say
the crazy
Kanye
shit.
and you say
To
Kanye.
think Kanye West came up and said, "Yeah, your manager's you know, little," and he was short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he still is, I'm sure.
So I just that, you know, and I wasn't really too hip. I knew about The Wire and I knew about the Talib Kweli Done Just to Get By.
Yeah.
That was like the two records that I knew about him, but I wasn't too hip. But I just remember, so Zach has this way of talking to people that makes, I don't know how it is, but he makes people want to, I gotta hear these beats type shit.
Yeah, my theory is that she's not threatening, and then you let him speak for a little bit, and it's eloquent, and then you're like, oh shit.
And entertaining too.
Yeah,
And he has no filter though, Zach. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like he's not gonna. He just looks at it like we're human. Hey,
I
man.
was telling Seth one of the funniest stories
Zach moves like a live performance.
is Zach
too.
and
It's just-
Storm's
yeah.
arguments, bro.
the illest arguments on earth, my jada.
Yeah.
We tried to bring it up last podcast, but the nigga
We did an episode with Zach. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
We did an episode with Zach. Your I guess manager, because when your phone rang, it said manager Zach.
You know that
Yeah,
number
man.
been like that since 2003, and it's just been passing through my phone, through my phone.
I want to get to that argument, but before we kind of like flood the gates with all the funny experiences we've had together, I still want to understand your careers. You know what I mean? So when you were like trying to get your name out there, you had your manager doing it, but were you utilizing social media at all, or like
Hell no.
early
There
forms
was
of
not
social
one
media?
bit of social
Wasn't
media.
MySpace around?
There was MySpace,
Yeah.
but all right, so 2005 is, I moved to New York in 04, I'm bugging. And Zach was already there. So my first thing is trying to get some way, somehow, my foot in the industry. So I go and contact Conrad Dementia. I don't know if any of you guys know of A&R. Actually, Vice President A&R right after Harv Pierre at Bad Boy. And he knew Face Off. You know Face Off. So I got linked up with him before.
the
So I
big old
called him. I was
dude.
like the first or second day when I got settled in New York. I'm like, yo, I'm living out here. He told me to call him if I ever move out to New York. So I called him. And he had a job for me at Bad Boy at the studio.
Right.
So I'm like, bet, let me start over there. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to get no job working at CVS or Guitar Center.
do something you love.
Because I
At least
would've-
you're in your industry.
Well, yeah, because my dad said that. It's like, you might want to get a job in the beginning to get some income going. He said, work at Guitar Center because then you can get equipment for cheap. But the thing is, I didn't want one of those kind of jobs, and then you're going to be exhausted when you go home. There's no inspiration to make beats.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's true.
I wanted to be with the artist. I want
That's
to be
the
with the
inspiration.
creation.
Hey,
You know what I'm
of
saying?
course, of course.
I don't need much to make the dope shit, as you see, bro. I mean, you can give me just a fucking laptop and a MIDI keyboard and the headphones.
I can go like
Okay.
this.
There you go.
Jay will sample it on his iPhone, and then it becomes a fucking hit record.
Fax machine.
But
So social media, you weren't really utilizing
so
it.
MySpace, I didn't, not one bit. You know, I didn't use MySpace. So MySpace, what I utilized MySpace was for what we had with the Rap Squad movement. So you remember we had a guy named G Nels who did the MySpace designs, which was really dope. And at the time, it was ahead of it. So our MySpace looked way different than everybody else's generic
Yeah.
MySpace. And we really promoted Rap Squad. So it was like the GI's run really was through MySpace. But nothing specific to J.Cardim was ever done through MySpace. Instagram or Twitter did not exist. You know, I was not on Facebook at the time. I got on Facebook maybe 2018.
That's that MySpace music.
no one's
shit
on
too.
Facebook anymore.
And no one's on
It's
Facebook. The only
old
reason I got on
people.
Facebook is
You'd be
because
surprised
that's how you
there's
make
someone on MySpace.
No,
right
but
now
the thing
looking
is,
for bitches.
Instagram requires you to have Facebook to become a business page, right?
Right,
That's
something
why
like
I opened
that,
MySpace.
Yeah, but
No,
you know, Facebook
I'm
and
fronting, though.
Instagram now are connected on that. It's crazy. Like
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
That's what I just said.
I mean, I'm kind of high, but
Yeah. No, but no, a lot of people are on Facebook, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people around our age use Instagram as their
Oh yeah, Instagram is the number one mark.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you one thing. I know it has nothing irrelevant. The iPhone 11 Pro, the fact that it's got 3 cameras and these stupid, crazy cameras,
Yeah,
simply
wide
for
angle on.
Instagram.
yeah. So people
Straight
do
up.
videos. Yeah.
So for people
Viral
who
videos.
market their business through Instagram
anything.
and whatever, they can take really great pictures of whatever they're, you know what I'm saying? And
Professional quality
Yeah,
stuff.
professional quality.
And
Yeah.
even video, you could change the lens.
And
to
that's
make
why
it
they
look-
focused on that. That's why it's the iPhone Pro. But anyways, yeah, that's just to talk about that. That's my stock shit.
Yeah.
Okay, baby Bible. Yo, and if you don't know one thing about my man Jonas, that's so Flea, who is He collects coins, old money, period. He got dumb old money in the crib, son. He got.
Well, you tell me now you got people running up my
Rob
crib, bro.
this nigga and get
Wait,
him
hold on.
out.
Tom, you're doing half the thing. Tell his address now.
All right. Yeah. All right, so it's on
210 Thompson Street.
That nigga dad gave y'all his real address.
That was your address in when you used to live in New York, yeah.
Yeah, my downtown address. Famous address.
Yeah, but that's a fact though, son. So I forgot what I was gonna
Yeah, because
say.
Tug was in the studio with you all night. You kept this man out late and you knew he had a podcast to do
6 in the
today.
morning.
So.
I know. He knew I had a podcast.
Bro, we
true.
dead ass came here straight from the studio. Here.
And he thought I was bullshitting. He hits me up at 10 o'clock. Yeah, y'all never showing up.
Yeah, because he's
And we got
posting.
here on time.
He's posting at 10 a.m.
At 10
the
a.m.
studio.
I'm posting at 3, 4, 5,
but
6, 7, 8, 9,
I
10
saw
a.m.
at 10 a.m. I saw
11.
14 minutes ago, and I'm just like, oh, they ain't never gonna get here by 1 o'clock. And y'all got here at 2:30, so I'm proud of you.
But I did say 2:30 the latest.
I know.
I said
But I'm
between
just
1
saying,
and 2:30.
you did your thing, bro.
I got him here though. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, we had to.
chaperone niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, so what else got your name out there early on? Obviously, the collabs that Zach got you.
Yes.
What about beat battles? You did some of
Oh,
that shit for
yeah,
a while,
I forgot
right?
about those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did beat battles and I won some, but I
I
lost
was
some
there.
too.
Kite came to one. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Kite. That was the last time I saw him.
Yep.
And I lost that one. No bullshit.
Yeah, I
that
know,
was kind
but
of
son,
whack.
that
That was
was
some
so-
bullshit.
but
Yeah.
the only reason you
were
lost
there,
it-
you were there too, weren't you?
I went. I don't know if I went to that one, but
Yo, the only reason he lost Bumper Sticker though is because Ill-Minded was the nigga that won, like Ill-Mind or some shit.
Ill-Mind,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
he mixed his beats for
Nah,
that
bro.
place.
If you don't remember,
and you didn't pick the beats you were gonna originally
they,
go with.
Yo, first off, I didn't pick the beats that we originally came with,
Yeah.
but and then second of all, they did the crowd noise, and it was so tied. Well, even though it sounded like mine was a little bit higher
To
the
me,
first
it
time,
did, bro. I'm
and then
keeping
when they
it
went
all.
the second, and the judge was like, "Now we got to do it again." Crowd and the Ill-Mind just had to get the crowd boosted up. I mean, it was my first time battling where the crowd reacted to my shit.
Right.
But when I battle, I just want to say there was no prize for that.
Right.
When I battle for prizes, I win. You know the loud battle, the universal battle.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
big checks. That's the ones I care about.
Yeah,
Fuck all that
facts.
other shit.
Right,
You know what
so-
I'm saying?
you did the you played the record with J Mills and Wayne, right?
Holla at a Player,
Holla
right?
at a Player. That was one of the joints you used.
I can't remember. I think so,
I
but I
think
didn't
so.
play
I
straight
wanted you to
cash.
play straight
Yeah, that's
cash.
what
I
didn't
kept
play.
telling you that.
French
That's
Montana
what I
record,
should have
right?
played.
And
Yeah.
the ambulance joint.
Yeah.
More paramedics.
Nah, we didn't play that.
I wanted you to play that.
That shit's
Remember, I was
whack.
like, I think it was fire for that moment though.
I don't even know. But
And then-
I slacked on not playing straight
It was
cash.
cockadoodle right now. Yeah, because you figured it's a Wayne feature, so it's bigger, but should have played
was
both.
about
Straight
the-
cash was probably
the
bigger in the
energy. It was
streets.
about the
Yeah,
energy.
the
Yeah,
energy.
it's
And
about
that
the aura.
beat, that beat had that energy
And
too.
you
That
know,
was that's one
and
of
it
my
was in New
favorite
York,
J.Cardim
right?
beats.
French?
Yeah.
So then came the mixtape era, Jay, right?
I
Somewhere
mean,
around that
no,
time.
there's still a little bit before I dropped the mixtapes. You know, we had Red Cafe, who showed me a lot of love in 07, who gave me the opportunity to work with him personally. You know, we did mad tracks. 3 of them made it on his album in 07, which I still get the small royalties for. But, you know, the fact that he opened up doors, you know, Paul Kane, Fab, you know, started to hear my name. We went to the video shoot, me and Zach with Red Cafe. That's the first time I met Fab. I actually posted that picture on my gram recently as a
I
throwback.
remember you was like backstage, yeah, and it showed.
Oh no, Red Cafe just showed me a lot of love. So that was like one of the first guys, and then J Mills, another one. I
Right.
don't know if you remember J Mills.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Well, holla at a
so
player.
that's how I started. So
Yeah,
he
he
was asking,
died
how do I get my
recently,
name
though.
going? It wasn't social media. It was straight up giving CDs to these rappers, and these rappers weren't lazy enough to put it actually in a CD player because that was a lot of work. You give a person a CD, they're gonna lose it. They're not going
Facts.
home. They don't even have a CD player. Now I gotta go figure out how I'm gonna play.
shit
this
probably
Now I'm
broke
throwing
in
it
their
out.
back pocket,
Word,
like
that's
when they
what I'm
sat
saying.
down.
Nowadays, you know, so that's how I started, you know, straight up giving CDs and yeah, so the relationship with Red Cafe though is what got me the relationship with DJ Envy as well, and that's
Yeah.
what got him to host my first mixtape to get to the mixtape convo.
Better believe I that boy.
What was that tape?
Your favorite rapper's favorite producer that came out in 09?
That shit was Fa. That shit was dead Fa. I remember working on that shit too. Well, you know what it is? Not even working on it. You just put Starstruck on it, on my record. Right to my mama.
Yeah, that was the first record that I put out with Tuge too, like official. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, Tuge
out
had
to the
records
masses.
produced by me, but like that was the first.
So you know one thing that Zach and we were talking about when he was on the podcast was Zach actually mentioned like the mixtape era, how he feels like a lot of the music from that era was this weird. It's like this weird void in hip hop where a lot of that music has gotten lost. Right? It wasn't an album selling like physical copies, and it wasn't on streaming platforms. So where does that music exist nowadays?
Word.
And I think you got swept up in that a little bit
Yeah,
too,
I did,
just because of the
Well,
time.
my second mixtape, especially because the first
Yeah.
one. So your favorite rapper's favorite producer came out in 2009. It wasn't really so focused on me putting out a project that was like like developed by me. This is just putting records that I've done, collection of records that people may or may have not known that was produced by me.
And they existed elsewhere, like on projects.
Yeah, they were
and stuff
other
like
people's
that.
projects.
Yeah.
So that wasn't like for example, the In Crowd that you were heavily a part. You know, those were records that I reached out to these artists like French and whoever, Joe Budden,
DJ Khaled in that album.
and I DJ Khaled that album. But I'm gonna be straight up with you though, Dan and Tug. You probably guys don't know this, but I was never, ever satisfied with the beats on that album. And I used to tell that to Zach. Yeah, in the In Crowd. I used to be like, Zach, I don't know, man. I remember when we was getting towards the end of the album when I was just like, I'm not really feeling it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I kind of almost like, I feel like I settled with the production on that album. And I'm going to be honest, bro. I'm going to be straight up. I remember getting some feedback from people who were huge fans of me. And I would just see conversations or whatever. Remember when Twitter was out? Yeah. And I seen people say that shit like, yo, I was really disappointed with the sound that J.Cardim went with that, a lot of those synthy beats. And this was 2010.
And you know what it was too, though? Not to bumper stick of you, I think because you had so many big features, you were building it around the features as well.
Right. So I just felt like, I don't know, I think the production could have been better. And we took mad long to release it. Zach was getting anxious to put it out. And I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not mad at the project, but I just felt, but
it's like with any great piece of art. Art's never finished. It's only abandoned.
But the beauty of it, like you said, it got swept into the Neverlands. Yeah. So I don't really care, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, me and Zach talk about maybe
you abandoned it premature.
Maybe I don't know,
but here's another question that I want to know about the creation of that tape. So you're saying you weren't satisfied by the beats, but how did it happen? Were you sending beat CDs to artists that you wanted to work with? Yeah, how did it all come together?
For example, the Locks record was supposed to be on the Locks album, and last minute they decided not to use it. Sheik being my homie at the time and Styles P being my homie, they didn't really care, but the only person I had to get confirmation from was Jada. Once Jada gave me the approval, bang, that was on. So that was how that got done. But like the French record with Tug on there and Matt Spike Miles and Styles P.
My favorite record.
That was all me putting it together. That was the original record was supposed to be French, Styles P, and Bun B on a different J.Cardim beat. But the Bun B verse that I got, I don't know how it happened, but it got leaked. It was on my beat, on the actual my beat. Right. And Bun B didn't want to give me another one. He said, I give you this one. But it got leaked somehow, some way. I don't know if you remember this shit. With a little John screaming in the beginning. And but
this is all off relationships, right? Like, you're not like throwing bread, like, hey, be on this.
But with that Bun B, with the beauty of it, when I sent it to French was like, I got to get on it. You know what I'm saying? So French got on it, and his verse was originally, he laid it down to the original beat, which was different than the beat that Tug and Styles P laid it on. Once I got French on there, then I put it together. I sent to Styles, and then I sent it to Matt Spike Miles 3 times, and he had to do me 3 hooks until I found the right one. Once I chose the right one, bang, it was done. And then I sampled his hook into Tug's beat that followed through right after that record. Yeah. If you remember,
Grits. Gotta move Grits.
And if you remember at the end of Grits,
that's one dope shit. Yeah. You dope with that though, Jay. You always like, not to give no neck or nothing, you know what I'm saying? My bro Zay, or to give neck. Yeah. You that was one thing that's fire with you, bro. You've been on that Kanye, Timbaland, like you've been, making album feel like you have 2 beats clash into each other, and the beat in between is like having great sex and making a baby, like out of just
like I remember he did that with a lot of your shit that we were working on, where he would take we would give him a record that we recorded, and then he'd be like, hold on, this needs to blend into the next one, and he used to go for another 3 minutes of just production work.
Funny story though, Jay.
Of course, but it was fucking musical shit.
It was Flea though. Funny story about the French shit, right? So when I came in his crib, like I was originally supposed to be on the other record with Joe Budden, whatever, shit like that. And then me and CZ switched because when I came to your crib and heard that, I didn't even know who was on it yet. I was like, bro, this is my favorite beat on the whole shit, bro. And then the niggas like, no, I got Styles and Kiss. I got Styles and middle verse. French. I need the middle verse.
Because I had mad Tugs on it. I didn't want to oversaturate because I had 3 Tug joints. I had that, then I had your single, and then I had Straight Jacket with you and Aries.
Facts machine. I need to hear that. I ain't hear that in a minute.
There was a lot of...
but the funny part is, though, whenever, like, French didn't hear my verse. He just knew of Styles and Matt Spike and J.Cardim and shit. And Matt Spike, you don't really know like that. So he'd be like, Montana, D-Block, these other niggas starving. J.Cardim let the beat drop. Like, oh, so I'm starving. Me and Mass Pike starving. I always took that some type of way, bro. I swear to God.
Yo,
dude.
that's comedy, bro.
Fax machine.
Yeah,
Like,
I know
always,
you told me that too.
and he don't know though, because he didn't know I was getting on the song.
No, he didn't know, obviously.
Facts. But I remember one day you told me it was some freestyle that you was like, yo, that's the nigga right there.
Well, how about we fabricate a beef between you and French right now,
and we get on.
Yeah,
facts. The
That's
best
all
thing
we
to do
gotta
at this point.
French.
All right.
Nah, French is my guy though. I still fuck. Actually, because of you.
Just connected you with French again because I
yeah.
worked with him. So I got. How about this? Let me tell you. This is hilarious. Can I tell the story? Because this is hilarious.
Yeah, tell that thing.
He goes. I tell Jay, I'm like, I send him a picture of French because I'm working with him on set, and I'm like, I'm with your boyfriend right now, right? Just fucking around. And then he goes, yo, give me his math. I want to reconnect with him, right? So I'm like, cool. I thought it'd be weird, but at a certain point, I had him by himself. I got his number, gave it to Jay. Kissed him, did everything
He
he
did
needed
kiss
me to
him.
do. Yeah.
He did send me that.
I gave him a double cheek kiss like the mobsters
Oh yeah, like
do.
some
Like how they do in Brazil.
Yeah, he's Moroccan and
Yeah.
shit, so like that makes sense. His mother did that.
You
to
made
him.
the family very proud.
Yeah.
And I kissed him on two cheeks.
That's
Anyway,
Italian, but you know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mob shit.
I mean, he's
I hit him with mob shit. Anyway,
Moroccan.
I got the number, gave it to Jay, and then Jay goes, "Oh shit, this is the number I've been had."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Damn, son,
And I don't even want to tell. So Zach is hitting me up at the same time.
you made me kiss him for no reason, bro."
Or you had to just fucking put your whole man
So
on
Dan
out
is like
there.
this. You think this is his real number? I was like, I don't know. Shit, I don't. At the time, I still didn't know. I didn't check yet that I had his number. But and so Zach and the other lines also texting me like, yeah, make sure you hit up French, blah 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 blah. So when I go to store the number, I'm like, yo, I already have this number. And I'm telling Zach that shit. And I didn't want to tell Dan because I felt bad. He put in all this work. And I had the number all the time. You know what I'm saying? So
nigga French had the same
Then he
number
ended
his
up telling
whole
me-
life.
His
whole life,
since high
bro.
school.
But then I said, what if he gave, because sometimes people have a hard time lying on the spot, so he gave me his old number, and then Jay said, I'll try, and then he hit him up a couple weeks later, and
yeah, a
y'all
week
are
later,
talking now.
and then he hit me back.
He
You
said,
sending him beats,
I
right?
sent him beats, but it's funny though because that's the number that I have for French from way back, bro.
Yeah.
Like you said, like damn near high school, and I can't even believe that number still works though. I was surprised. That's why I never bothered to hit him up. I'm like, I had that number since I don't even remember how long, 10 years.
Yo, Jay, do you feel any sort of like you look at guys like Khaled and you're like, get the fuck out of here?
Nah,
like,
not really.
I was doing this.
Nah, but it's not sometimes. It's not about just talent or whatever. Khaled's talent is different in making the best music. His talent is selling the music.
Yeah.
He's a great salesman.
and putting it together too. He brings all these artists together. He picks the hand, picks the beats.
Actually, I fuck with Khaled, but
He's a visionary.
But not even like in a shitting way, but just this in the back of your mind, you're like, man, I was doing this before it was really popular to be doing
When this nigga was on
Wait,
shots,
wait,
was looking
I was
weird.
doing this before the guy.
Khaled was already dropping mixtapes.
Sure,
before,
but you were doing it before the guy who's like the in the spotlight the most was the person behind the album. It's usually the artist, but now Khaled kind of revolutionized it, so he's like the main star when he puts out a tape.
But
he
or
even
an
raps
album.
on some of them
But
shit.
Khaled doesn't actually physically produce the beats.
Nah, he just goes pick some from, like, Cool and
He's
Dre,
a different.
different
He's like the Diddy producer type of. He's the actual real producer. We're beat makers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But we call beat makers producers. But a real producer is not just handing you over a beat and say here do the rest. That's not a real producer. That's a beat maker handling a rapper a beat. A producer produces in the studio.
It's like in my
putting
world.
the whole shit
Tweaking
together,
it,
not
making all
just the
the sound,
song,
yup.
but knowing exactly how it needs to sound, this hook or this or that, knowing how to, maybe this is not when you come in with this verse, maybe we put the hook first, and then after the whole project's done, Khaled is doing all of that, but he's not there pressing buttons, making
he's
the
not
drum.
doing that. But sometimes he even goes as far as like I heard he comes up with melodies. He may come up with the song title, the vision. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you have a beat and you're like, yo, Tug, I see this. Or like
It's definitely
Pharrell
his
telling
vision.
Jay-Z.
It's
yo, I
his
see this.
vision. Yeah.
That's his vision for sure.
It's like in my world,
And he pays for them features and shit.
It's the difference between. Yeah, well, they got to get paid on
It's
that
a
level.
flip.
But it's the same in my world. It's like a difference between like a videographer and a director. You know what I'm saying? A director is responsible for the full
whole thing,
vision.
yeah.
Like he's there with the
But the
edit.
videographer is just catching the shots and
Sure,
angles.
or the DP, the director of photography, the cinematographer. They're part of the look of the shit, but they're not necessarily the director. They're not in it from beginning to end. But yeah, man. So
That's wild.
Yeah,
bro.
I never thought that deep on Khaled's career like that. I mean, I never, he never bothered me. He always showed me and took love.
Mad love.
Ran into him in Miami, sat in the studio when he was working on the previous before last album. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like,
He straight told me, like,
he's not
yo,
even
I'll
Hollywood.
sign you.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's definitely not Hollywood at all. I'm just saying you were doing it in a time where, and again, I think you're a victim of the time because you didn't get to capitalize because it was right before social media blew up.
See, Khaled been in the game before me. Let's
Agreed.
Yeah,
Khaled
don't
been in the
like the
game
movie
in a-
shots that you
yeah,
see
yeah.
him skinny.
I'm
like,
not putting you against
Right.
him specifically. I'm just saying that you missed that boat where you could have been the megastar just because we were a little before social media exploded. So you got swept up in that mixtape.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have been a mega star though. I don't think that was.
No, you made megastar sounds.
Mega star. I mean, I made good beats, but I don't know mega
you
star.
would have definitely
status.
been like a well-known producer, though. You know what I'm saying? You would have had a lot under your belt, bro. I mean,
You're still
already
younger than all these guys, by the
Yeah, I
way,
know.
which is hilarious.
I'm only 29.
Yeah,
which
you're
is crazy.
a baby. You're just a baby.
That's
I got
crazy. You
baby
8
fat.
years older than me?
How old are you?
21.
Yo, get out of here. Damn, you just started drinking.
Big 21.
He started drinking last night. You ain't know?
Yeah, I just started drinking last night. I'm still
drinking.
drunk.
So then I do want to connect you guys because then you met Tuge, right? Zach told a story about how he was.
Well, I met
managing-
Tuge before the mixtape. I met Tuge in 07.
Sure,
That's a
but I'm saying so. Zach told a story on the last podcast, episode 11. It's called The In Crowd, which is
nice.
an ode to
To
that.
us, because that's our name of our group.
Yeah.
And J.Cardim is a part of it too. So
Of
it's like
course,
the same.
J.Cardim's
I'm an
he's-
out crowd, bro.
At the end of he on the mixtape, didn't he say the leader of the In Crowd?
Did I at the end?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
you
he
did.
said that
It's
at one
like,
point.
you know me, J. Cardim, the leader
didn't
of the
say
in
that.
crowd. It's not Tuge shit. That nigga's lying. Dan did not have no parts in this, B.
Zach has nothing to do with none.
But Zach put you on to him, right? Kind of.
Put me on the
To
Tuge?
Tuge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
He told a story about how you and him kind of discovered him at the same time.
I didn't
could see. You want me to
discover
turn AC on? I'll turn AC on.
Yeah. So
Zach
Fab.
You were listening to the track at the same
So what happened was his cousin was in a Jive Records with, on some random shit, and Zach was there on some other shit.
Yeah.
And Zach was playing beats. I forgot
Zach's
who.
always on some other shit.
Yeah, Zach was playing beats for somebody in there. I'm not really sure. And Fab.
Zach told us. He told a story on episode
It wasn't
11.
Fab, it was Rob, his brother.
Rob? Okay.
Yeah. But you're right in the same family, you know.
And
what I'm saying? Across the
so
hall.
I don't know. It was probably the same shit Zach said.
Yeah, but basically what he said was that he had went back and listened to Children of the Corner, and he texted you about it, and you were like, "Bro, I was just listening to that today again.
And I
that
felt
song
the
really
same
is
way.
fire."
Yeah.
And we didn't really give it a good listen the first time.
No, I never actually met Tuge yet either at that time.
I remember when I met you, it was the day of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, bro. I pulled up to your crib.
All I know, bro, the funny shit about that is that Storm and Zach got into the illest beef
Ever.
Yeah,
And
I'll
it's
let you
just-
guys tell it. I wasn't
Stack
there.
bundles.
I wasn't there, but I just heard it, and it's the most comediest shit.
I'll let you tell it too, because this story needs to be said, and we've been
Yeah,
kind of
Zach,
like
I'm
tippy
stoned.
toeing
Yo,
around
that
it.
beat.
We've been tippy toeing
Rest
around
in peace,
that.
Stack
Yo, my
Bundles.
nigga.
But Stack Bundles also had done that record
So
with
let me
that
get this
same
for your
beat.
hand? You got a little something.
Thank you, cute stuff.
Don't worry.
What you gonna do next? Lick your thumb and just wipe my face?
Just
and get
wipe
me ready
food
for
off your
school?
face because I can.
Yo, the crazy shit was with that. What was he talking about? The Zach and
Zach
Storm.
and
Yo,
Storm,
so like,
yeah.
say I'm Storm and you're Zach type shit. Like, yo, my nigga, fuck out of here. That record's ours, nigga. Fuck you mean?
No, that record's a Stack Bundles. I'm sorry.
No,
you guys gotta
nah.
pay me $1,000.
Nah, niggas ain't hearing that, bro. Like, fuck out of here. That nigga
$1,000,
dead,
Zach.
B.
That was $1,000.
That
That's what he was
nigga
asking
dead
for.
ass.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
From Tuge. Yeah, well, Storm really. And Storm said he was gonna pay too. So bang. So I haven't met Storm yet. So Storm and Tuge called me like, yo, we're gonna come through. We want to take care of business. Blah blah blah.
Facts.
The first time I already had met Tuge probably 2 to 3 times. I had never met Storm. I track out the beat. Storm's supposed to give me a rack. I go downstairs. Storm is still kicking at the same shit, but he's cool with me. He wasn't like aggressive like he was with Zach.
Nah.
But he was trying to make me see the vision. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the dude. Blah, 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 anything you need, I got you. It's bigger than just giving you a rack. Blah, blah, blah. But I already saw the vision, so I'm like, nah, I'm not even tripping. You know what I'm saying? But Zach was the businessman out of this shit. So you know,
Right.
and Zach, you gotta understand, Zach only gets paid when I get paid.
Right.
You know
Facts,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
If I don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. I may still get the credit. You know what I'm saying? But he did, you know,
Yeah,
so it's
I don't
kinda,
even think it was so much about the money. It was more so about the look. Like, yeah, we might be able to produce a
Well, really-
posthumous
really-
album.
And
for,
also, you felt
Stack
bad
Bundles
like he
because at the same
died.
time had a record out and he just died. I don't know if you remember that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, of
So it was
course.
just it was on the same.
Like, it was
beat.
one of the last records
you
he
wanted to
recorded.
be on the posthumous Stack Bundles album. You wanted to beat on that because
I mean,
they were
but
talking
we
about
had
that
3
coming out.
records at the time. That was one of the 3.
Right.
But
Well-
I mean, and the album never came out. Neither did Tuge's record.
It did. It did. It was
Yeah,
on
my
the
shit was
Green Lantern mixtape.
Oh, okay.
It was on the mixtape that Green Lantern hosted.
I only
for Tuge.
remember that because Zach told us. You know, Zach's a computer, my daughter.
Yeah, I didn't even remember what happened.
I remember that. Oh, it was on Who Was Tug.
You got
But
all
that's
the
how
tugs,
that's
though.
how the ice got cracked though. Was that record?
So unless you want to keep talking about this era, I'd love to fast forward to Jay of today, man.
Oh, the Jay of today.
Jay of
skipping mad years.
We're skipping years, but you've you've been producing behind this.
We completely skipped the whole Joe Budden.
His whole life. Like let him talk.
That was
more
like
about
you know what? Continue. You know what? That's my mistake because Zach spoke about it a lot. But no, we
that's
need.
Cool, man.
It's a totally different episode. It doesn't matter. It's a different episode.
It's a different episode. You gotta represent my nigga.
Yeah. So then that's true. You did do a lot of production work for Joe Budden. That's also how I got connected with Joe. But anyway.
And arguably his best work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the thing about Joe Budden that's different between like French and everybody else, like even though French at the time was also close hand, but French, like he'll come through the crib and build, but we weren't making music. He'll just pick beats. He'll get drunk most of the time, get hammy, and just go through beats and pass out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Joe Budden where we were at the studio. Joe Budden, funny enough, never came over to my crib. I always went to the studio. Yeah. And but Joe Budden would give me the session home and allow me to work at the crib. He trusted me with the vocals and everything, so that was pretty dope. Where you know where you know a lot of rappers are very insecure with just letting their vocals go like that, especially when you're a new producer and you know they don't know your reputation. Are you gonna let these records fly, or are you gonna
leak them?
You're gonna hold back.
Throw my verse off, beating all types of weird shit.
So that was one thing I like working with Joe's because I was able to get really creative and try things that I didn't.
He gave you a lot of freedom. Gave you a lot of latitude.
So it's easy to see the final outcome versus just making the beat and then sending it to Joe. Maybe Joe wouldn't see it that way, but since he gave me the vocals and I put his vocal, then he started seeing like these records, like for example, "Follow My Lead" and
speaking to the mic, Jay.
I'm just trying to think of this record. I forgot. I can't even remember.
Off Mood Music.
Mood Music 4. Yeah,
4 and 4.5. Because I did about 4.5. I did about 80% of the records. About half of those records was just his vocals at my crib and me fucking around with it and doing
like creating the beat around it more. You know, it was one of my favorite stories from that time when we were in the studio with Joe. Because remember, I was in there for a while too. I did that like trailer for him and the docu piece for the album.
Yeah, I remember.
One of my favorite stories was that there was this constant battle amongst the producers that were contributing for who would have the beat for the collab record with him, Royce.
Fab. There wasn't a battle. It was like another producer.
No, but it's just a lot of producers.
You made one too.
A lot of producers.
Yeah,
a lot of producers were sending their music in like they wanted to be that. They wanted the right they wanted to be that track on the album, right?
Fact.
And then it settled on it being Jay's beat, which was a big deal. I remember Zach was excited. He was like, "Yo,
but you didn't even know the story about that. If you watch that clip that you did, there's a moment that Joe was getting tight with Zach because I was out of town, and Zach
I was there. I know.
Yeah, and Joe was like, "Well, he's out of town. Then we're gonna have to go with somebody else." You know what I'm saying? And because I was sending him beats, and none of them were working for the vision that he was going for, and I guess Joe wanted me to go into the studio to rock in with him, but I was out of town, and Zach went instead of me, and Zach just was playing beat, and you were recording, and he was saying that shit.
Yeah, like, he's like, it's not my problem. If Jay's not here, then I gotta go with somebody else.
You gotta go with somebody else.
Yeah.
So and then Zach plays that record, that beat.
Remember the Titans is the name of the track.
Yeah, Remember the Titans.
Yeah,
but remember, I had a record where I was rapping on that beat.
Yeah, facts.
Do you remember that shit?
Yes, nigga.
You don't
was in
remember
your
that
crib
shit.
playing around.
Yeah, I had a verse to that shit.
Yeah,
I wonder, did he play him the beat or the one with you on
No,
it?
he played his beat.
Like he was like, yo, I want Jay to be on the collab.
Right,
too.
no, but he played the beat of the song that I did, which is a little bit different. It's way drier, the beat, and it's not as ill.
Yeah.
There's no variation. It's just a dun 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 dun, whatever the stabs that I use, and there's no breakdown or nothing. Just a loop.
That was
like one of the first Slaughterhouse records too.
No, it wasn't.
It was just him and Royce and two other niggas.
What it was it was a big deal also because it was
Fab, Joe Budden, and Banks.
Yeah. Lloyd Banks was the big deal.
So it's supposed to be the three of them. All right, so this is how it went down. So, you know, Joe and his Twitter followers, he likes to, interact with his followers. So they were talking about, Joe wanted to put out a record with the best mixtape rappers from that era, from like early 2000s. Versus Fab and all these mixtapes. You know, had Lloyd Banks.
Wayne. You needed Wayne in that bitch.
This is before Lil Wayne. This is a little bit before Lil Wayne.
Before Mixtape Wayne.
Mixtape Wayne.
But it's before Mixtape Wayne. This is still Hot Boys, the end of Hot Boys Wayne.
He's talking about
early
DJ
2000s.
Clue
era
DJ Clue,
tapes.
Yeah, it's Fab, DJ Clue.
Yeah, there was no Lil Wayne, bro.
Fab,
Lil Wayne
Joe,
was
and Banks.
Lil Wayne was Hot Boys at the time. He wasn't Lil Wayne.
He was on his freestyle shit, bro.
Yeah, but he wasn't like.
But it wasn't dominating.
He wasn't respected as a lyrical rapper.
Like Fab, though, yeah.
Fab, Fab been around. You know, it's funny. I didn't really care for Fab coming up.
He was a fake Mace.
He was a fake Mace. But I used to fuck
with
Banks
punchlines, and he invented a whole fucking flow, bro.
I mean, that was later on when he took Lloyd Banks and him.
So Joe Budden wanted to do a record because he had drama with them back then. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
He had
That's why it
drama
was a
with
big deal. With
he had
G
drama
Unit.
with Fab. I forgot
Oh,
over what. He had whatever, and he had drama with Banks. So he got them two on a record. So it was a go. We locked in. And that's when we're trying to figure out the record. And then, what's his name? Royce the 5'9" was on Twitter like, nah, I'm getting in. And everybody on Twitter like, nah, fuck that. It's official. They voted him out. That's what they said. So if you remember Royce the 5'9"'s verse on that, he's like, fuck the naysayers. He talks about that, how they voted me. But, you know.
And he bodied it the most.
I think Banks bodied it the most.
Banks, really?
Yeah, Banks and Button.
You know what was funny about that feature too, though, B? Because, like, niggas always say Lloyd Banks and Fab use the same exact flow.
By that point,
but Fab just sounds different.
By that point, Lloyd Banks was rapping.
Yeah, but I agree though. Back in the days, they had the same flow.
The bitches with the drink goes home from party.
That's Fab's. Yeah.
This is I thought in number wishes I could.
I'm talking about that record.
No, this is back in the days.
No, I'm saying
they use the same exact flow.
But I'm
for
saying
years.
by the time that record happened, Banks was rapping different. He wasn't even that punchline Banks anymore.
Yeah, when we did that record, was.
I mean, Fab stole from Mace, Banks stole from Fab. I mean, it's only right.
Yeah.
See, listen. So I always used to say that. I used to say Banks is the ghetto version of Fab. Back in.
But his name was Ghetto Fabulous.
Yeah, right.
Which is the irony.
And he was nothing
My man
ghetto.
had the paper towel tied around his head in the video.
He's ghetto now when he's like pistol whipping his girlfriend's
He's ghetto
dad
now,
and shit.
and not matching. Right? He's colorblind too, right? Too. That's what you posted the other day.
Yeah, fax machine. Fab's definitely colorblind, my nigga. Yo, this nigga had a blue and black flowered shirt, silk shirt on.
That's that guy though. I fuck with Fab.
Bro, hold on.
Fab is
Tell him the
fire.
color of the sneakers. Those green and
yellow,
fucking
bro.
orange Travis Scott 5s, I think.
Sixes.
The sixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sixes.
And then one, he had the yellow lace on the other foot. Like, bro, this shit
It comes
doesn't
with the yellow
match
lace.
Yep, all right, but your shirt comes with black and blue on it, my nigga. You're gonna wear green, orange,
Was it
and
also
yellow.
Was it also a Rich Young shirt?
Might as well have been.
I think
He would've
Fabe
been-
still has a bunch of Rich Young shirts.
Because Fab was only Rich Young. He's
Who
starting to get
wears
old
Rich
and
Young
broke
still?
now.
I don't know, but one of our boys, Fabe, who happens to
Fabe.
be named
Happens to-
Fabe, and
niggas call him Fab and he looks like Fab.
And if you take the E
And
out, his name
Kevin
is
Garnett
Fab.
mixed.
yeah, but he used to love.
And
And this is
Bryson
not
Tiller.
shit. And I love Fabe, but he used to love. He was the Rich Young god back in like the early 2000s. He had all the Rich Young clothes.
Word, that's a fact.
Yeah.
We be calling him, what we call him? Big Tillerless. Because he
fuck is
looks
that?
like Big Sean, Bryson Tiller, and Fabulous all mixed
Big
together.
Tillerless.
Big Tillerless.
If only that rolled off the tongue better. Pause.
Big Tillerless.
But so going back to that era, I mean, like, what do you think of now that, like, how do you even have a relationship with Joe anymore? Or?
Yeah, it's crazy because his relationship with Joe was funny. So I can't remember, something happened where somebody.
Now you're cold, right?
No, I'm not cold.
Oh, okay. He's like,
I want to say around 2014. I forgot what happened, but somebody was coming at me on Twitter about Joe Budden, and Joe Budden intervened in the conversation, and then me and him started arguing on Twitter. Do you remember that?
Nah, not at all.
I kind of do, though. I was
Zach hit
at
me
your
up
crib.
about
I hated you in 2014.
that was
Yeah, I was
2014.
beefing it.
That was when we went to Brazil together, right? It was 2014, right?
Yeah. 2015, 2014?
No, it was 14.
Yeah, I was beefing.
it was.
I was beefing early
Yeah, it was World
2014.
Cup.
It was the
14.
World Cup 14. You're right. Yeah.
Early 2014, y'all was staticky.
And then
later on.
this is around that time, maybe a little bit after the Brazil trip. Yeah, so I was arguing with somebody about something. Somebody, I don't know what happened, but it was just a whole bunch of ats on Twitter about me and something with Joe Budden. I don't really know. I just started beefing with a couple guys on Twitter, you know, defending my name, and then Joe Budden intervenes because Joe Budden loves to argue. And it just became a full-blown argument on Twitter, and I wasn't even coming at Joe. I was coming at his fans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
Joe took it personally.
He was coming at his little buttons.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. And so Joe hit me up talking mad shit. I'm like, bro, dog. First off, you're not even mad at me. You're mad at Zach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Throw that right on Zach. Throw Zach
Nah,
under the
because
Greyhound.
he got tight because I mean it's understandable. So, you know, I don't even want to be all personal with the Joe Budden situation, but. You know, he told Zach one thing, did the other. Zach took.
But are y'all cool now, or
yeah,
have a
we're cool now.
relationship?
No, so all right. So remember when him and Drake started beefing?
Him and
Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah, like what 2016ish, right? When was that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because
This
this was
2017.
Whenever
I would
it was.
say late, actually.
So he DMs me on Twitter. Do I gotta go through Zach or can I hit you up for beats?
Nigga landed.
bro.
Did you land a Drake diss record?
Nah, I didn't send him anything at the time. But he was like, I need some dark shit. You know, but
he was trying to go wild on
I
Drake.
don't go that too dark like that in that lane. You know what I'm saying? That depressed, dark beats.
The darkest beat you have is a song called "Puppy Love" by Aries Onassis.
How's that dark? That's a pop
No, that
song.
beat was so dark though.
That beat's hard, no bullshit.
Hard
but the song
and dark,
Puppy Love.
but nigga ended up becoming Puppy Love. So now
With
shit
no
is not
shirt on
soft
the
no
beach.
more.
No, that was Nick Black that shot that.
Oh, when he came out the water.
The water, yeah.
Like a Spanish
the male
young
mermaid,
baby
bro.
father.
Yo, real flea god out
Aries
the water.
came out the water like a Greek
What's
mermaid.
what's the Greek water god?
Zeus. No, Poseidon. He came through like Poseidon.
Bro, he dead came out looking like an underage baby father from
no
Puerto
bullshit.
Rico.
18-year-old looking,
he looked Puerto
skinny
Rican
shit.
Word.
Mad Rican looking, hat hair still.
Yeah, Aries is coming.
Mad sexy, bro.
Shout out to Aries. We're gonna have him come pull up too.
Aries is coming through this week, actually.
soon to come. Flickety whips.
Yeah. But that's cool, man. I mean,
but the fit of the Joe Budden thing. It's funny because time sometimes can heal things, especially if it's not that serious, especially with me and you. You know what I'm saying?
All bullshit. Yeah.
Like I know you wasn't lying. When he said
niggas fought mad
2014,
times.
he hated
Niggas
me.
fought.
But the thing about time, it
heals all.
It heals. Yeah. People. That's why time. You got to give it time.
And also, the more you grow up, the more you realize none of this shit
It's just a
matters.
waste of
bro.
time.
It's all
Right, none of this shit
fabricated
matter, right.
bullshit. Like,
I mean, unless it's time you've given.
But Joe
time.
Budden likes to entertain himself with fabricated bullshit. Let's be honest. He loves to.
I'll be honest.
I think trying to start problems on our pod, John. I see that early. I like this. Yeah, let's go on the ball.
No problems.
Don't make them squash us.
Yeah, chill out. Leave Joseph Budden alone.
I fuck with Joseph Budden.
Leave Joseph's Buttons
Well, last
alone.
week he shouted my record out, Hood 2. You don't remember?
Oh, you better
Underrated
believe that.
record?
And then told Shot Stimuli
Bro, I'm
that
trying
it
to tell you, it's all
was Sky
love with
Zoo.
Joe. There's no problem.
You heard you?
We talked about that.
Shout out
Sky Zoo.
That's fucked up. Yo, that's a level of disrespect right there, bro.
Word. Nigga ain't even say Sky Stimuli. Nigga just said Nigga just said Sky Zoo.
It's the same thing if you said, took fucking, instead of you, we put Freddie Gossett.
Word, that's some foul shit. Word.
But to be fair, it
too.
was an honest mistake. He didn't
Was
mean-
it an honest mistake?
Yeah, because then they squashed it on Twitter afterwards.
They
Like,
did.
My bad, I got you, bro.
But that shit was comedy though. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like Joe. I fuck with Joe, bro. He didn't have to shout.
Well,
he shouted me out on his podcast a few times.
What I was gonna say is that it doesn't really even kind of doesn't matter at this point, except on a personal level. But now he doesn't even rap. So it's not like
and
we're gonna
also
get-
our
you're not gonna get
podcast
I'll
about
tell
to
you one
pass
thing
this
though,
shit
dude.
real
I
soon.
promise you, if I focus up.
Give me one.
If I focus up and send him some fire beats that will put him on his own, I guarantee he'll come back. I guarantee.
Yeah, hell yeah, because you have that vibe with
Well,
it that brings him
bro,
back to, you know what I'm saying, that
Announce
vibe.
it here on our podcast. Maybe it'll help out. Try to get Joe back in the lab, bro, with you.
With me. Nah, I'm good.
No, he's good. He's been up all night. So he's about to go to sleep.
Yeah, I haven't slept
Yo, bro,
either.
don't fall asleep in this guy's car driving you back to
I'm falling
Boston.
asleep, bro.
Oh, no, that
Oh,
nigga's
my God.
diff. My nigga,
That's
he might
scary,
do a backflip
son.
off something.
I can't drive.
But stay up and help him stay awake and shit.
Trying to stay up is gonna be a mission.
If you
It's
guys
like I
pulled
got
a-
Siri for
bro,
that.
you
my
guys
nigga.
pulled
Bro,
a whole.
I'll catch an Uber back to the crib, bro.
Yeah,
How much you think an Uber from here to your crib is?
Probably like
That's
500.
600. Yeah, 600. Probably like
500?
I'll check it out later.
That's hilarious.
It's worth checking. Word.
So Jay, what is the move for you now? Like, are you still cooking up in the lab? Like, what's
So,
going
yeah,
on?
so-
Because let me say this, because I think it's interesting now because it's different than before. You don't, I mean, love Zach, but you don't need him to knock down doors and shit.
Yeah, no, but I still wanted Zach in the picture.
Of course, we all do. But he's married, so that's a
Yeah, it
different
doesn't matter.
story.
His wife
Well,
was.
he still
No,
wants to-
I'm that's not where
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying
that
to go.
he's-
Matter of fact, why wasn't you at the wedding, bro?
I wasn't.
I'm just fucking. Yeah. Why wasn't you at the wedding?
Because he's a fat fuck.
Yeah, he's a fat
I
fuck.
got-
You would've
'cause my
definitely
child
not fit.
came
Yo,
out,
matter
bro.
of fact, Zach had the thing for you because the one he gave me would have fit Tuge. I showed it to you, bro.
I don't know. Oh, maybe.
I
You
mean,
gave-
that took then, yeah.
So
Around that time, I
what
was
Jay's
slimmy
talking
then.
about is we wore like a kurta, which is a Hindu
Yeah,
garb
it's
for.
funny that it
And I
sounds
had the whitest.
It's funny they call it a curtain and it sounds like curtains because that's exactly what it looks like, a curtain.
It's exactly
wearing
what
on
you
your
did to that
body.
wedding. He said you come. You said it's curtains for
It's
that.
curtains for that, baby.
I'm not making it.
Nah, you missed that. That shit was the time, bro.
I know,
fun.
I'm
It was
nauseous,
very
bro.
fun.
I was mad I couldn't make it, Flea. I just, I had other shit going on. I had a kid, like some shit came out of a woman's pussy that looks exactly like me.
Does look exactly like him. It's
that's
fucking
fucked
scary,
up, bro.
And
Like,
you
man,
can
I-
tell his son's gonna be a fire rapper. You can tell. We pull out these mics on this
Ain't
podcast.
no
he came out the pussy like that, bro.
He came out the pussy spitting balls.
That's crazy.
Son, he's
bro.
just like him as a
Braids?
kid. Braids.
He got braids now. He came out with braids.
He came out with braids twisted.
Came out with braids.
He did his own shit like in
Shades
jail.
too. He had shades on.
He thought he was in
Who was
prison.
braiding his hair in the womb?
I think it was one of the sperms.
It was like prison. He thought it was prison. He was braiding his own hair.
Fax machine. Oh, I thought the sperms just came gathered up.
He had a
and
twin,
braided
but then he
shit.
swallowed that dude. He fucking ate him up. Like, fuck this dude.
You violated. You told my son swallowing sperm, bro?
No, a twin. You know how sometimes another twin will absorb the twin in the dominant one absorbs the twin in the womb? That can happen.
Sure Tuke did that.
Sounds
Yeah,
wrong.
it's-
I absorbed triplets, octuplets.
He's still
Yeah.
Still absorbing.
Yo, you might have a twin brother in your stomach, bro.
I definitely do.
Jay, pull up on that mic, bro.
Hey man, how you doing?
Yo, Jay. So, but nowadays, what my point was, nowadays you can really be hands-on on social media all day long, like sliding in DMs and trying to.
Yeah,
get
I know
these
that's what
beats
my girl's telling me, bro.
It's a different
Most
game.
girls will tell the man, yo, you gotta fall back off social media. What are you on the DM, man? Well, Natalie on the other hand is like, yo, you gotta get back on social media.
Yeah,
You gotta get lit,
facties, bro.
She's like,
You
yo,
gotta make it-
she wants to control my social media. Like, yo, let me fix it.
That did.
But I don't know, you know what I mean?
You need a separate account, Jay. You need one
Damn,
for
why don't you
just
take over
straight
my-
production.
Nah, fuck all
I
that,
don't
bro.
do social media well, honestly, because I just
you
can't.
mean, bro?
I
I'm
can't
great
be
at
on
it.
that shit
Bro,
all day long.
your Instagram posts are the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, when he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
cats sitting in the living room.
It was
in
all
black
about
and
the
white.
shot.
It's all about the shot. Come on.
God,
Yo, I mean, I am a visual artist, so to speak.
Those eyes of yours are,
So to speak. Yo, Jay, we have you on here. I mean, I think the name of the game is like if you're a producer, you're just in tune with music, right? Like
Right,
that's
right.
So we have this little game lined up for you
Yeah.
to try to just show people why they need to jump on a J.Cardim bandwagon, and we're gonna test your knowledge of hip hop.
Yeah.
Are you good with
We're gonna
that?
see what you know.
Let's try
Are we
whatever
good with
this
that?
is.
So-
All right, so
Do I get money?
What it
We
is
put
so
money
like
up?
what we're gonna do now is look, we're gonna play
We
you.
betting?
No, we're not betting.
There's like
There's no
6
casino?
ones, like 7 clips or what?
There's a few clips.
It's like a few clips of instrumentals. You
Mm-hmm.
can name it. You can answer it in 3 ways. You can say the name of the song,
Who
the
it is.
artist.
Yeah, what- just-
but we really want the producer.
What are we
If you
playing?
can
All right.
What are we
I
playing
got
you
that.
right
You know
now?
what I'm saying?
Okay.
My job to do.
And if we'll keep tab and see.
Catch
let's
it,
see how
catch
you
it.
go.
If you don't, you poop.
Fuck.
So, and then okay, here we go. If there's a story that you can share about something related to it,
then
please go ahead.
Get naked. Don't be shy.
You ready, Jay?
Nah, give me 5 minutes.
All right.
Yo, so word, son. 5 minutes ago, there was this shit called 5 minutes. I got to talk for 5 minutes right now. My nigga.
All right, let's do
5
this.
minutes.
Let's do this. Let's fast forward.
Let's
All
do
right.
it. Yep, fast
You
forward.
ready?
Fabolous.
Here it is. Here's the first one.
Bring it, Zach. Ooh, yeah, that's lit.
My volume's down. Hold on. Here it is. Here's the first one.
Bring it, Zach, bro. I already know.
What's
Just
that?
Blaze, Cameron.
What is it? I really mean it,
Hey,
right?
of
said
course,
Just
yeah.
Blaze,
How was I
Cameron.
supposed to name the
You
song?
said
Yeah, I
Billy
really
Blaze?
mean
That's
it,
how
yeah.
you said
Yeah.
Billy Blaze
It
just
is.
there. What the fuck?
Young Guru.
Young Guru, nigga. Yeah, Dipset shit, nigga.
So when you play
Suck
this,
my dick.
is it gonna like sound? They're not hearing.
No.
it.
Yeah, when he puts it on the
I'm
balloon, he
gonna
does it over the
overdub it
I'm
with
about
the
to
real
say,
shit.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
don't worry
yeah,
about
Nah,
it.
this shit ain't gonna be good.
All right, here we go.
Our callers. they
Maybe
can't
this is
hear
still
it.
easy. Well, I think this is still like a
I didn't notice how easy that one was.
the level of ease is kind of easy on this one.
There's another one that's mad.
You got to
easy.
give him a couple layups first, and then
Yeah.
Boy, you only played half a second, bro.
that's how we're gonna.
That's
do it.
all you should need. I picked
That's how
like
we're
the
gonna do it.
most important
Here we go.
parts of this
Here we go.
shit.
Here's another one.
For the hook.
I can't hear it,
Damn,
bro.
that one's low as fuck. Hold
That's all he needs too.
on. Hold
I didn't hear anything. Oh, come on, bro.
on. What's that?
Dr. Dre.
Oh.
67 cents. Nah, I'm joking.
that's where you got wrong.
69 cents?
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
quarters.
no, it's 53 cents
No, it's 2
now.
quarters.
Okay.
Yeah, call him 2
It's
quarters.
Kanan.
Do I name the song too? Or should I,
Kanan.
5 dimes?
If you know it, that gives you 3 points. You got 2
Royce the
points.
5 dimes.
What you just spit in the car? Isn't that?
Same exact song.
Same exact
Because
shit.
at the end of my song, Stuttering, I say, I try to act like you don't know we beat niggas, nigga. In the club all the time. Prop,
Yeah,
prop,
that's what I'm
off.
trying to say. Yeah.
Okay. It's getting a little tougher now. It's getting a little
getting
tougher.
harder.
That was super hard.
It's getting a
bro.
little tougher.
I almost forgot the
This
artist's
one,
name.
Get this one.
It's getting a little tougher. Here we go.
Come on, B.
He's a legend. I know he's gonna get these.
Swiss Beats.
I'm trying to make my man look good.
on Jay-Z's 4th album, right? 3rd album.
Don't go that. Don't do that. Because that's like naming Jordan sneakers.
It was.
It's
on volume 2.
It's volume 2. Okay,
Right.
And obviously the Money Cash
Right,
Hoes is the
nigga,
song.
You said that shit like you knew a nigga want to write, right?
DMX, Jay-Z, Swiss Beats, Money Cash Hoes.
Don't
volume
forget
2.
about
Was
Beanie
volume 2
Siegel,
on-
my nigga. Don't
what-
forget
what-
about Beanie Siegel, bro.
Well, no,
He's on
that's the
that.
remix. You're talking about the remix. This is the remix.
The original is DMX, Jay-Z.
Yeah, it's just Jay-Z and DMX.
That's Swiss beat.
The remix is which is actually what I have here is with Beanie Sigel and Memphis Bleek.
But it's
on
the
it.
same beat though.
Yeah, it's
so I would
kind
have
of
never known.
Better black.
I know.
Only reason I
He
remember
knows.
is because they had them jerseys on. Them shits was so flea back then.
All right, here we go.
That's a fit.
Here's the fourth one. So Jay's 3 for 3 so far.
I need
That's the
Stumped
hardest
him
one.
on this one.
play it again. I have no idea, bro.
What producer uses that sound, bro?
I don't know.
Think.
When I play it for Jay, he's gonna know it. And this is a tricky one, but he's gonna be like, fuck.
I don't even know if I know the song.
All right, here it is. Here it is. I'm just playing it for you.
Get you bling like the Neptune sound. Okay.
Yeah, but that's you know, come on, that's you gotta play just the beginning. You went to
Nah, we got to give you
But
some
that's a
different
very
shit.
iconic sound, though. Get you
bro. So
bling
it's like if I played,
But
you know,
that's the Neptune sound.
all right, so you know, DJ Premier, if I went and played, you know,
you
DJ Premier had those scratches.
Yeah, because I figure like who have the most scratches out of producers?
Jay, at a certain point, I gotta give it to you.
Go
I
ahead.
give you some hard ones, bro.
Let me hear the next one.
Here's the next one. This one.
You
know
might
what?
not get this.
This one might be a personal favorite of yours, Jay.
Let me hear it. Oh, come on, bro. I don't know if you got Aries record or the original record.
Well, tell us
but
about
say
it.
what you
Speak
just-
about that record a little bit. Tell us
that's,
about it.
That's the all right. For the top, that's a Tom Joe Bean record. I'm not even. I know you're Italian. I know Frank Sinatra. I'm not
Forget
taking
about
it.
it, you fucking
but
guy.
let's be honest. That's a Brazilian record. That Frank Sinatra went and
He
took
went
in
and
the system
kidnapped
and
that,
made
yeah.
it.
But he gave y'all
kidnapped
niggas
it.
shine. He gave y'all niggas shine.
Kind
Tell
of.
him, tell
He
him.
made my man sound bad. If you hear Frank Sinatra's voice, and then my man comes in, I'm like,
Well, here's what it sounds like for the audience at home.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl
Oh, that's the one Frank Sinatra one.
comes walking in.
That's the one you
she
but hold on.
You sampled the Frankie.
That's
or
the one you
sampled-
sampled.
Walk and say,
That's the one you sampled.
yeah, that's the one I sampled. Yep.
Aries.
So
Shout out to Aries.
you're shitting on Frank Sinatra, but you sampled the
Oh, no,
Frank
I'm not
Sinatra
Frank
version.
Sinatra. I just said I
okay.
specifically said I'm not shitting on Frank Sinatra.
You didn't stay
okay,
true
okay.
to your culture though, bro, because you went with the American
it's just,
one.
you know, who wrote the record, he's on the record as well. It was just him by himself. And the mix of the original record is huge.
Right.
But Frank Sinatra took that and made his mix even huger. And when Homies came in, it was like a big different,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the level was just crazy.
They did the remix together, and the nigga sits
a
on
cool-
Frank Sinatra's
But I fuck with
lap.
Frank Sinatra. You know, an interesting thing I just found out, which is, you know, of course, everybody know, fly me to the moon.
Fire, of course.
Anyways, you know Quincy Jones wrote that record? Never
Hell
knew
yeah.
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
Did you know that Quincy Jones is Pharrell's uncle?
I don't know if that's true.
Is that ass true?
That I might have to hit the Google.
Nah, my fault. It's not Quincy Jones. It's Babyface.
Maybe.
Fuck that up, big. Fuck that up.
Damn, so I'm still what? What was that, the fourth or fifth one?
You got one. You got one.
We got wrong.
You got one more? That's you got one. How many you got?
You got one wrong.
You got one wrong, yeah.
Give me 1 second. We'll jump right back into it.
Nah, nigga. Ow.
Set timer for 25 minutes.
You stepped on my whole foot, my book.
Like, bro, I can't set timer.
See what happens when we ain't got Angie? Niggas got to set time.
Who's
Niggas-
Angie? Your
Niggas
girl.
replace Siri
Set timer for
in
25
Angie's place, you heard?
Putties.
All right, so that was a cool story about the girl from Ipanema, Jay, is that we actually went out to Brazil together, you and I, in 2014.
we did.
Shot a video for our mutual friend
Which got
Aries.
stripped out of YouTube, and Aries never bothered to fix that issue and put it
Why,
out.
though?
Yeah, and by the way, that video came out fire because it was
Super fire.
That video was so
Pops
dope.
is a G.
That was one of my favorite videos. Throwing the
like,
sand and all of that.
For me personally, like I had a tough time with that video because
Drones were lost.
Drones were lost. We crashed the drone, lost it off the beach. Like in typical fashion, every time something gets lost, I'm always the one to go chase it down. I chased that shit down. We lost the camera in fucking Buenos Aires. I chased the dude
I had it on
down.
my laptop.
Yo, a
too.
nigga
You still
tried
got
to,
it?
tell that story.
I have it
I know
somewhere.
that story. Tell that story.
No, it was the same trip. We went to Brazil. We went to Rio and Buenos Aires. Obviously, Rio
I
is
forgot about that. the Buenos
obviously
Aires
Rio
shit.
is a more dangerous place than Buenos Aires. They call Buenos Aires the Paris of South America.
that's Buena.
So we get there. We're very lackadaisical with our shit. I put the camera down for a second. I'm directing Aries in front of this
Seconds.
monument. Seconds.
Sex
The shit
ends.
gets swiped and gone.
Sex ends right there.
This shit gets swiped and gone. It takes me a second to realize what happened. Cause
Old lady.
I'm looking
Later.
for the camera. Nah, it was an older guy. Not older. He's like 50. But this guy, this
Old
guy
lady,
pumed
94,
it. This guy
walking.
pumed it. This guy pumed it, and I run after him. and I just get fingertips on him, bro. This guy jumps into a cab. I'm banging on the side of the cab peels off. And I know the cab driver had to be in on it.
He didn't grab you in
the biggest nail on the ground and tossed it.
You lucky that nigga didn't grab him in there and tie him up and niggas fucking sell your body parts.
But you know when something happens and you just go off adrenaline, I just went. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think the guy might have a gun or the guy might have a knife or anything like that. I just went after the fucking camera.
You're one of those niggas that if you like see a house on fire and there's a cat in the window,
shit is with the
you heard, but if that means he's one of those niggas like if he sees a house on fire and there's a cat in the window, like yeah, he's gonna run in and get the cat.
When the drone landed, shit got taken away into the sky.
Well, we have the footage. That's the funny thing.
So it lands and it hits this cab. So I'm watching the footage in slow motion, and this shit hits the front panel of the cab while the driver of the cab was just getting out the car. So that shit just said bow, but he didn't really pay attention, didn't see it. So the drone's on the ground still recording, and you just hear the Brazilians talking like, yo, in Portuguese, where that shit come from, yo? That shit came from the sky. The other guy's like, nah, there's probably some idiot out there flying that shit. Don't give a fuck and just let that shit land.
And then I run over and
you see Dan's face picking that up. And he's just like,
I'm like,
snapping shit in together. You hear the clicks and you hear the guy in the back, yo. Like, hey, my name, talking mad shit.
Dan's about to rinse your body.
Jonas is with him. He's like, yo, listen. And Dan's like,
Jonas didn't go nowhere. Jonas,
he caught up with you.
Caught up, but that was way past.
No. Watch the footage. He's still there with the guy yelling at y'all. And Jonas is trying to sit there and get everything focused up. And you're like, nah, Jonas, let's be out of here. Nah, these dudes are already pissed off.
Yeah, let's fix it back on the beach.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what you said.
Nigga Dan got low. Like, nigga, y'all niggas
Jonas was like right there.
Like, kill us right now.
Dude in the back, like, yo, talking mad shit.
But let me just say this though.
Shit was comedy.
We were doing the drones early in the game, so that shit was not like the drones nowadays are built for flying on the beach. We were flying on the beach. We took it up a level too high, and the fucking wind took it, and just it was a wrap.
Luckily, it went the opposite way. Sometimes the wind is going against the ocean.
Yeah, shit would have went right in the water.
It went in the water. That'd have been crazy.
I was surprised he found it, bro. Because when I saw the drone flying, it literally went into the sky, and I thought it was gonna land on one of the rooftops of one of them buildings. That's how high it went.
Turned into a balloon. You're like, I can't even see this shit.
No,
bro.
Shit was gone, bro. Fast too.
Gone. And we have the footage.
Angel took that shit into heaven. Like, nigga, I love this shit.
Yeah, we have the whole footage of that. I can't believe it.
All right, guys, let's jump back into it. So far, Jay's 4 for 5.
Oh yeah, I forgot
that's
about
good,
this game.
In a know your beat game.
You
We need to come up with a name for this.
Know that beat.
Know that beat.
Yeah.
Nah, that's too simple. All right, you ready?
Peep that beat.
I don't know. This might be the only time we play this game.
Coincidental instrumentals. I don't know.
Coincidental instrumentals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does you know what coincidental means?
Yeah, I know it's like some shit that happened.
All right, Jay, here it is. We might have a story for this one too.
Let's see,
bro. Oh, that's exactly what I was just talking about.
You gotta know that, boy.
I know, but I had this queued up before I knew.
Damn, I didn't even know he did this one because the other ones I gave him.
I mean, do you really want me to answer?
I'm scared of that. Because I knew that.
That's the record we were talking about earlier. French Montana, Tuge, Styles P with Mass Pike on the hook. The part he played is that was just talking about Mass Pike Miles.
Yo,
yeah. Can I say this though? The real reason I played this is I'm gonna play the entire clip. So anyway, you're 5 for 6, but I want to play the entire clip because this is the real reason I played it is to talk about this. It's to set up this conversation.
J.Cardim with the beat.
6 shots, he cock, Montana D block, 7 niggas starving, J.Cardim let the beat drop.
Woo! That's your tag.
Yeah, and that's he's talking about Tuge. I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, he's talking about me when he said the niggas starving. That's the verse I was talking about.
Right. But I meant it for the. I didn't know you were gonna say that either.
Yeah, I know.
I meant it.
But you didn't know that was my tag?
I know it's your tag.
Okay, but
I talk about it publicly.
Tag, but did you know that's where it came from? Is what I meant.
Yeah, of course. But when I heard it back today, I was like, oh shit, there it goes. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where your tag came from that you currently use today.
I'm currently using now.
J.Cardim let the beat drop said by French Montana.
I said your name better though, mad times, bro. I'm jelly.
You?
I'm jelly, no peanut butter out here. Yeah, Fabolous.
Oh,
I said your name a few times.
All right, Jay. This is a big one. There's gonna be a lot of
last one, right?
There's gonna be a lot of explaining to do.
Here, bro.
Two more.
There's
more.
A lot of that was the 6th one.
There's 3 more.
What? 3 more?
I got you.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of explaining to do for this one, Jay. I think you need to.
It's probably one of my beats. Huh?
I think you need to answer for yourself on this one.
It off.
Do you know where that's from?
One more time.
Ooh, that was good.
One more time.
I know what it is.
It sounds like it's Chris rapping.
Or
Tuge.
You want me to tell
you that?
Hold on, I need to figure it out.
You gotta give up.
Come on, I've curated this properly. I know what I'm doing.
What the fuck? Is that Starstruck?
I know what that is.
It's not Starstruck. Bitch. Sounds like there's a chop and screw hook.
Can you be on the mic
Yes,
while
yes,
you try to
yes.
figure this out?
I'm
It
agreeing
sounds
with
like
you.
there's a chop and screw hook by Chris that's about to come in. I may be wrong, but it sounds like that bitch is Tug. One more time.
That's a hard one, Fleetwood.
What the fuck, bro? These records are old. It's not Starstruck.
I can play you a longer clip.
Play a longer clip. No, play a longer. Play just a second longer.
That's it. I know. The thing is, it's chopped up. So when I play the next one, it's gonna.
All right. So you have the record.
I have it. You ready? Mm-hmm. This is the full length clip.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm a dope boy for real. Plus I hold on the stair when it comes to
This nigga's self-rapping.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's how I told you I don't rap, bro. I don't rap one time in my
you was
life.
dead fire. You nicer than Khaled.
I know that.
And Birdman.
Jay,
You know what's? I don't even want to shit on Affiliate and Sheik Luch, but one of the comments on the original
But
video.
tell us what that is real quick. Tell us so the audience
It's a
knows what
verse.
that is. It's a verse on what record?
On Dope Boy for Real, but that's Affiliate's
you
record.
produced.
I know.
Yeah, so there's a story behind that. Before I get to that story, though, I just want to say there's one comment I always thought was hilarious.
Stay on mic.
Is somebody wrote on YouTube, how's the producer have the best verse? And I always thought that was hilarious.
So who's on the record? It's Affiliate featuring Sheik Luch and you.
Yeah, and me, yeah.
And you produced the record and,
I produced
rapped
the
on
record.
it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to know how the
Ben
story
Khaled.
went down?
Yeah.
Okay. So, story went down because Chopped and Screw was that shit, you know, at the time. Everybody had Chopped and Screw hooks, so Affiliate wanted a Chopped and Screw beat. He came through the crib from Maine with the big bag that day. He's like, yo, I want to work, bang, bang. So he said, make a beat, pay me for the beat.
Mm-hmm.
We hollered at Sheik Luch, went to D-Block that day. And he already had done this other record called Trash Bag Money that featured Sheik Luch and Styles P and Uncle
Yeah, I
Murder.
remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
So he already had done that. So he didn't want to go with the same two, Sheik Luch and Styles. And he didn't have the bread to drop for Jada. So we were just sitting. It was me, Zach, Sheik, and Affiliate. We're sitting in the Affiliate studio. I mean, Sheik Luch studio, and Affiliate looks over to me. He's like, yo, Jay, didn't you used to rap? I'm sitting on the couch. He's on my left. It's like, didn't you used to rap? I was like, yeah, years ago. It's like, yo, get in the booth. So I spit a verse that I wrote in 2003, bro. No bullshit.
What year was this?
That was 07, 08. I think it was 08, top of 08, February of 08. And I mean, all now it seems old, but if back then in 08, nobody was talking about spinners and their whips.
Yeah.
Nobody. And I'm over here, you know, that's one of the references I
One of your
said.
bars, yeah.
Got the big body Lexus with the spinners in 2008. And I'm like, yo, Philly, there's no way you're going to use this verse. I put it in 2000. He paid me for that shit. So I'm like, yo.
Yo, this is crazy.
I'm like, yo.
Well, you had the best verse on the record,
Bro,
according
I'm
to
like,
You bodied
YouTubers.
them niggas. You bodied Sheik.
No, I'm like, yo, this verse I wrote literally, because so before I quit rapping, I was with CZ and G.I.'s Rap Squad, blah, blah, blah. And I was a producer making beats. So I wrote these verses, was literally the last verses I wrote of my life in 2003, 2004, before I moved to New York. Never wrote a verse
Before
again.
you decided, like, fuck rapping. I'm
And,
not rapping. no
yeah,
more.
so this was 2008. It was like one of the 2-3 verses that I remember writing, but I didn't, you know, I didn't remember any. So I just went in there. I'm a dope boy for real. For the dough, I would kill. And I don't trust these souls. So for the, I don't even remember anymore.
Word, that was my favorite part always.
I forgot what it was. Something with the big body Lexus with the spinners, and I'm just like, yo, bro, I cannot keep that. And
Like
Affiliate
Spreewells, bro? Like y'all niggas
bro, that was 2000, 2001 too. Like, what's his name? When 50 Cent came out, he had the chain. And all
I'll
that.
teach you how to
That's just
stunt.
old
This is
school. And I'm like, yo,
how-
Philly, there's no way you could keep that. And he kept it, bro.
This is, yeah.
So that's how that shit went down.
This is how I teach you how to stunt 50 Cent.
I'm not really too proud of that verse, but what can I do?
It's made its way into the
mean,
world.
at
It
least
did make its way into the world.
And I really think that's hilarious that YouTubers think you have the best verse on that track.
And it was on
non-rapper.
MTV Jams and Rotations for mad long. I remember this is when I was still living in New York.
You have a video for that, by the way. People
Yeah,
can look this up. There's a whole
You
video.
had bald baby face. You had the good
had
dark
the-
Caesar though.
Yeah.
They had the rotation on MTV Jams, but I just remember having MTV Jams at the crib, and I'll hear that shit pop up. I'm like, yo, nah, not my fucking verse. Yo, I'll be so embarrassed. I had
Were
to
you
shut
on
it
what,
off.
the third verse?
Yeah, the last verse.
Last
yeah.
verse.
So,
Yo,
so
Sheik loved your beats though.
Love my
Sheik
You're
beats.
lucky
loved
they
your
stuck
beats.
around for your verse when such whack verses that came before it.
Right,
so.
right. I know she goes hard. I mean, no, you guys are shitting on like
Nah,
this.
I'm playing, nah.
Nah, they
Bro, he used to be the nicest member of the Locks. When they first came out, Sheik
I
was
always
the
like
nicest.
Sheik. I'm not even gonna take nothing
But
from
then
him.
he passed the ball
You know
to
what?
Jada.
You know what it is about Sheik, dog? He's just raw. You know what I'm saying? I like that about him. You know
And
what I'm
also
saying?
he's
But
pineapple
kaboom!
bomb.
Come on,
Throw a pineapple bomb in your blender.
He's also Tug's label head. He's
Remember he was gonna sign me that day?
No, yeah. He started bullying you, right?
Or he was signing me that day on the spot.
All right, I got one more. This is the last one. This is the
that.
last clip I want to play.
I can't believe I missed that one.
Yeah.
Bitch! I would have never known.
All right, here's the last one. I don't think Jay can get this one. This one is, I mean, it's ridiculous if he gets this one.
Come on, B. You really gonna play this?
What? What is that?
Well, this could be a Tug record, could be, but to me, I'm guessing that you're playing. I know, but to me, I think it's clearly the G.I.'s record. It's not the G.I.'s record. The Aries record.
No, wrong.
It's the Tug record.
It's not the Tug record then.
You want me to play you a longer clip?
Yeah, well, that sample, I know I know what beat this is.
Oh, you use this a lot. You're saying.
That's the point. I don't know which version, who you got.
Jay, I think you're way off the mark on this one. If I'm being honest with you, I'll play along.
It's not Joe Budden.
I'll play it longer for you. I told you just have to guess sounds. So this is the longer.
I know it's my beat. I know the sample. But
you want to hear the longer clip? I'll play it for you.
The fuck is this?
Those are whale mating calls from YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Whale mating calls off of YouTube.
It's just whale mating.
It's just whale mating calls. I don't know why you thought it was your beat. What made you think it was your beat?
No, it's a whale.
It's just whale. I'll play it again.
It's a whale mating calls. Listen close.
Man, I gotta play.
Right?
You know the shit that you did.
Nah.
I don't know if it's Kite or Johnny. Something.
You heard him? Huh?
Yeah.
You heard him?
What?
Say what you said again.
The beat that you did a record for.
I don't know if it's
Kite or Johnny, something like that.
Yeah.
But it has that intro.
It's Kite, bro. It's Kite.
Yeah. So Tug made a song to his cousin that passed, and Jay fucking disrespectfully sampled whale mating calls to put on the beginning of that record. That's disrespect, Jay. I mean, literally, look.
Yo, play them the original though.
Play the record though. There you go.
This be the realest shit I ever done. For my fans, this backpackers without a book bag.
That was
so I did guess it right.
Yeah, I was fucking with you.
And but is that really the? Did you edit that to make it?
You know you're missing one, right?
I couldn't get all of them.
But that one I really wanted for
I couldn't get all of them.
Do it.
It wasn't working for whatever reason.
That's it. You heard? Wow. What beat is that?
The shit I sampled with Dan's cat.
Yo, Jay.
You want to know what it is though?
Yeah, I do.
It's the baby sound in the Aaliyah beat, the Timberland shit.
Oh, yeah.
Jay, the last thing I wanted to cover.
Yup, East Coast film, West Coast film.
My mother's too dry.
There it is.
So Jay, of 8, you got 7 right.
Thank you.
I mean, the whale mating calls.
I got two wrong.
Whale mating calls. I'll give that to you.
I got my record wrong where I rapped, and I got the
and the Neptune sound.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to ask you?
6 of 8.
I wanted to ask you. Do you know who produced "Why You Over There Looking at Me"?
What song is that?
The Mace shit.
Oh,
Why you
Mace.
over there looking at me?
Probably the Neptunes.
Oh, yep. See, you fire, bro.
That's crazy. You know why? I just thought of the beat, and I was like, sounds like a Neptunes beat. Yeah.
What about Ether? You know who produced Ether, right? Of course.
I don't know who produced Ether, bro.
Yo, this is his claim to fame. Like, this is him.
Oh, of course I know who produced it.
That's what I'm saying.
Ron Browse.
Yeah, come on.
Bugging.
Baby.
Why would I not know that?
All right. The last thing I want to cover with you, Jay, because you've been a glorious guest, I might say.
Yeah, pretty good.
You weren't on mic. You and your manager can't stay on mic, both you and Zach.
What do you mean? We're not. Well, Zach is a rapper, so he knows how to be on the mic. Producers don't really go on the mic.
Mic talk is
and he's gay.
Yeah,
so.
there's a lot of mic talk.
The last thing I wanted to talk about is that there was a time and a place where you had a lot of contacts, and you were known for doing a lot of prank phone calls. Remember this? Is there any prank phone call story that you can share that's one of the funniest ones?
Oh man, this is crazy. So it's kind of funny because I just found the CD, but it doesn't have everything from where I don't.
This is the era we're talking about where he had it on CDs.
Yeah, this is CDs. So I mean, everybody knows today about spoof ID.
You better believe.
And I forgot who put me on. I want to say it was my sister. Somebody put me on a spoof ID. And
shout out to sister
and
spoof people around the world. What was the basis? Like, what could you do on that
spoof
app?
ID, of course, you could put any number on a call ID, not just I can't. It's not just putting your number to. I put 666 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it has the option to change your voice to the or the high pitched voice. So I prank call people with the 666. And it's hilarious, bro. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, this is the devil.
But you're talking about like industry people.
Yeah, industry cats.
Yeah.
Saigon French.
Yeah.
Even Khaled, you know what I'm saying? Got a prank call.
But even then, he'll call people off other people's numbers.
Yo, you know what I used to do that was hilarious when I was in like fucking early in high school? We used to, when three-way calling was around, we used to connect two people at the same time. So they kind of picked up around the same time.
Yeah.
So, and then you just listened to their conversation. No one knew who called who.
When I first got spoofed, that's how I used to do. I used to call on two phones, connect them, and I used to call motherfuckers that I knew that had drama with each other, bro.
Fact.
Yo, this shit's hilarious.
Yo,
so,
that shit was
let's say fucking you beefing with somebody, and I know I'm cool with both of y'all mutual. I call homie with their number, and I call your number with his number.
Right.
And fucking
your mom.
So I don't know how they picked up, but yeah, they'll be picking up, and it'll just be me on the phone. Now, one of the funniest one was Zach. I did Zach. Wasn't he with me when we did Zach and some random chick? So Zach was at my crib. Yeah, so Zach was at my crib. I went through his phone. I just picked up a random girl's number out of it. You remember this shit?
Yo, we
call her with Zach's number, and she's like, "Hey, Zach." He's like, "Yo, call the police. I need help."
So I don't think anyone knows what you just said, Jay. What did you just say?
Call the police, I need help.
It was being told like, "Yo, call the police, I need help. Call the police." And I'll just hang up.
Yeah.
And I'll call back. "Please call the police.
Please help me.
Yeah, please help me." Yo, I kept calling her back like 3-4 times, and she was mad worried for Zach. So I don't even remember the outcome of the situation, but I remember Zach called us pissed, bro. He'd be tight, bro.
He'll turn red, his whole face red.
Yo, we fucked with Zach too much, bro.
Yeah,
but, I think one of the funniest ones was the Saigon one. I don't know if y'all familiar with Millie's, but Millie's got a quick prank call. That shit was pretty funny. I told you that was one of my favorite ones. And French Montana was alright, because French...
He was beefing with somebody.
No, I called French as Tony Yayo. Remember when French was fucking with Tony Yayo for a hot second?
Yeah.
So actually, this is kind of funny. I have it on my phone. I could play it. So I called French as Tony Yayo. Yo, and French believed it was Yayo. I'm like, yo, I put the high pitch. Well, you know, Tony Yayo got the high pitch. So I'm like, yo, French, this is Tony Yayo. I'm out of Miami. Getting lit. French is like, oh God, what you on, Yayo? What you on? I'm on Yayo. What you on? What's Tony Yayo? What you on? So then I said, yeah, I'm on Yayo, yo, like that, right? And French is just dying in the back. Yo, Yayo, what you doing, dog? Oh God, French just bugging out laughing, bro. I called French with the 911. I'm like, "Hey, French Montana, this is Officer such and such. We're headed to your location." And French is like, "What?" It's like, "This is the police. You guys call the police, right?"
Yo, ain't you do like Freeway and like
I know, but that was a little wild.
That
shit got a little crazy though. Yeah, I called thing with Freeway's number, and Siegel thought it was Freeway to the end, bro, to the very end, bro.
He was like, "It's me, Baby Gorilla."
Yeah. That's why that shit's just kind of disrespectful, bro. It's just
So one of my favorite ones that we have the audio of, I have it queued up.
Which actually, is the best one,
is when, and we actually put this on one of your old mixtapes, Tug. When Tug called DJ Khaled from J. Cole's number. So he picked up, and what's hilarious is I'm going to play the clip, but when you listen to the top of the clip, you hear Khaled picking up. It's cut off a little bit, but you hear him say, "Cole, talk to me." Then it's just Tug rapping, and I had to cut it because he raps for fucking minutes.
Thousands.
And Khaled then stayed
So
on.
I remember this. So we was high as shit. One of our late nights making music, being bugged out. I don't know what made us call Khaled. We was like, yo, let's call Khaled. A lot of drugs. So we called Khaled with J. Cole's number. And I was fucking with J. Cole at the time. That's when he was coming through. So
yeah.
So I called, but Tug, we put the phone on speaker. It was just sitting on my table, and Tug is just there. "I'm gripped up. Yes, this is a sticker. You ain't got it." Yo. Bro, I'm thinking after the 5th bar, Khaled's long gone. I'm not seeing the phone, so I didn't know if he hung up or not. So, literally he rapped for like 7 minutes, bro. He rapped the whole song. Yeah. The whole fucking song.
A really long verse.
He started with the hook, really long verse, went back to the hook, bro.
Yeah.
That's the crazy shit.
He was like,
when he finished rapping, Khaled was like, "Yo, send me that right now."
I got the audio.
That shit was crazy. He sat there and listened to the whole shit.
I got the audio. I'd love to play it for the audience.
Let's do it.
So I cut it. I couldn't let it rock for 7 minutes, but
all you gotta do is buy Tug's mixtape.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I didn't put the whole thing on there either. We chopped it up. But here's the here's the rapping part, and then I'm gonna show you the second part, which is Khaled's reaction to it. And I cut out the part where he gives his fucking phone number and email and all that shit.
You can do that. I'm just ain't the same no more.
Cole, talk to me.
Yes, this is pick up. You ain't gotta be trapping, but see something to get stuck. Don't bitch up, no pick up. My girl cut like Nick Tuck. I'll play you a song with this heavy metal big drum. Look, I'm ready for duck. Jacket in my kicked up. Tell them labels I need a situation, no fist pump. Freshman class, I disrupt. Front row saying fist bump. I'll catch this like the kid, my nigga. Everybody get one.
So, and then he keeps going. That was 27 seconds, but he keeps going.
Yeah, I go
and
for
then Khaled reacts to it, and then this is the end of the call.
Also, Khaled, tell me what it don't do. I go by the name of Tug, nigga. Mr. Star in the Hood. I had to prank call you to get to you, nigga, but this is what it is, man. I'm the next nigga in New York. I'm the greatest, my nigga. High family, man. I'm here. Let's get it.
Yo, that shit crazy, man. That shit crazy. I need to hear that shit. Send me that shit. Send me some music.
All right, so at my...
Send me that shit you just did right there. And send me some music. I want to hear it. And send me some pics, too.
Send me some pics, too. Tell me what it is, bro. His name is Tug.
Send me all that. And send me a picture of you. And also send me some shit. Let me hear it.
I got you, my brother. Let's do it. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Got you.
Yeah, when I get to the hotel, I'm going to check it out. But definitely send that. Text me your number and then put your number on on the email you send with the music.
I bet.
I still talk to Khaled till today, but I never brought this up.
It's sad. Well, what's fucked up and sad is that nothing really came of it.
No,
we sent him all the shit. You guys called me immediately after and said, "Yo, Dan, put it together."
No, what happened with that? Because Khaled kept it really real with you one time about the whole situation, about being active and working, and don't make me come to you.
Yeah, he said you get a little more of a buzz, and I'll sign you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I remember him saying that to
then
Tug.
I won't need you, nigga. I'll have a big buzz. I'll be.
But I was working in Miami like 2 summers ago, and in the studio right next to Khaled's studio, and I remember I would see his Rolls Royce out there, so I was like, let me just come through there one time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing nothing. Bang, ring the doorbell. Who is it? J.Cardim for Khaled. Buzz me in. Khaled. Oh, Cardim. Beat Boley was there. You know Tone Beats? The Beat Boley, and I don't know if he... Anyways, he was there. They were working on the 2 albums ago that Khaled was working on. Mm-hmm. And Khaled had the same talk with me. He's like, where you at these days, Cardim? You in New York? I was in Miami. I was back in Boston already. And I was like, nah, I'm in Massachusetts. I was like, yo, you need to get down here. You need to be out here. And he was saying the same shit, like, yo, out of sight, out of mind type talk. Still the same email, different number, but still the same email. We still kept in touch through the email. I sent him beats. We went back and forth. He picked about 3 beats. When I was at that studio session, I played like 15 joints. Mm-hmm. So that's where he picked the beats, and I sent those beats over to him. But as working, and it's true, I wasn't active. This is during my retirement, so people don't know that I pretty much retired at 2013. My last placement was These Bitches, French Montana, and Currency.
And These Bitches, yeah.
Currency, yeah. So Currency and French Montana, These Bitches. It was one of my favorite beats, not for nothing. Which Tug also had a record, and I didn't know. So the way that worked out,
facts.
So that was supposed to be on French's album, the Excuse My French album, and Since he didn't use it, I didn't even know he was using it. Tug also worked on a record, his own record on that. In between time, French gave it to Currency for a feature, and Currency ended up using it. So that was like my last official placement in the industry. And then I took a step back from the game. I was getting bored and frustrated. It's too much of a job. It wasn't like, when I first started making beats, it was kind of like, it's like
fun is your passion.
It's like busting a nut. You know what I'm saying? Like going out to the clubs.
I didn't know you were gonna go there. But
yeah, you know what I'm saying? When you make a dope beat, bro, right? When you make a dope beat, I don't even care if it gets heard by the millions. But for me, when I'm smoking my weed and I'm just like, yo, the way this sounds with this or this. Like today, the beat that we were playing inside, that's an 8-year-old beat, and that shit's fire to me. Still has, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the vibe is just like literally getting with a bad bitch and just bang, you fuck the shit out of her. Man, that's how I feel like. I don't care about what everybody else cares. As long as I get
I think that what you're saying is that once the business starts
to take
over the art,
and that's what happened. Once the business started taking over the art, bro, I just lost motivation, man. It's just straight up. And people say that to me all the time, like, yo, how you just gonna quit making beats? You were making money off that shit. I was like, bro, yeah, but it's not about the money. It was about the passion. I didn't have the passion anymore, and I didn't want to force myself to do something that I wasn't impassioned anymore, bro.
Yeah, it makes you like a slave to the music.
And it makes you a slave to the music, and you're not gonna create the best work. So I was just like, yo, honestly, you know, I was living in New York, paying skyrocket rent, living in downtown. I was like, yo, I've been here for 10 years. I was like, let me regroup, find out what I need to do, you know what I'm saying? So I went back to Mass, which I'm technically from New York, but I grew up in Mass. So, you know, so I grew up around the world. But, you know, Mass is where I established some good connects. So I went back and, you know, started doing different things, you know, investing. I mean, of course, you know about that, and started moving my money in different places, bro, because, you know, the music money is not forever. I mean, of course. Let's be honest, you know, there's a lot of artists that I worked with personally that a lot of people probably wouldn't even know are dead broke. And I'm like, took note because he's been to some of these people's houses. I'm not even going to name names, but, you know, you would think they're millionaires. You know what I'm saying? They got records with Drake. They got records with this person. They got but dog, they're dead broke.
Well, one close example to our circle is Zach, and he spoke about it. He's like, you know, when you listen to Zach's story and you guys' story, you would think that you guys are sitting on M's and royalties and all of these things, and it's not as simple as it may seem. Like, you have this crazy resume, but not the bank account to show for it.
First off, you know, people believe everything they see on TV.
Oh no, Zach's bank account is plush. Don't get it twisted. But
yeah, everybody knows that
for other reasons.
I mean, if you were at his wedding, you know what I'm saying? Zach threw $1 million wedding.
But even back in the day, I
if he had me at his wedding, it cost me at least 10 racks to get out the house. So he flew me out.
But back in the day,
bro, you saw my outfit.
Yeah,
20 racks on the outfit.
Without shoes, no shoes.
No shoes, butt naked.
Shoes included.
Yeah, I came through butt naked, still dropped 20 racks on the outfit. No bullshit, but listen, so
20 racks in appearance, bro. Come on.
Yeah, bro.
So where exactly did I leave off? You said
so you're retired. You know, people's bank accounts aren't what. You know.
No, yeah. So like you were saying, so
the game isn't as giving.
So the thing is, people get fooled. Even me, when we're young, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old, you seen the rappers that are hot, they're on TV. You know, whoever it was, from Joel Santana to this person, that person, and then you don't know the insides. You just see what you see, which is on TV. The jewels, the bitches, the cars, everything. Right. And that's just fake, bro. I mean, I'll be talking to my girl's little brother who's 18 years old, and he's telling me that Gunna's set for life. You know, he's like, yo, Gunna's probably one of the richest rappers out. Bro, what are you talking about? Gunna's one of the richest rappers out. If you Google his net worth, it probably says 4 or 5 mil. You know, that's what I'm saying. If you got a net worth, and if it says 4 or 5 mil, chances are it's a mil. If even. Yeah. So people always get confused with these Googling net worths and just like that. And it's like, bro, I've been to these people's cribs that you would think are millionaires. Yeah. They're not living it. They're not millionaires, bro. Right. These guys, they made money on their days, you know what I'm saying? But after the music is not moving, the expenses is still skyrocket.
Of course.
But the income,
niggas end up at their mom's crib.
Cost of living.
And they want to, I mean, even producers that I was working with that I looked up to back then, I also don't want to name no names, but once I started getting established in the game, and I'm like, yo, these producers, I thought they were millionaires. I'm thinking to myself, damn, they were driving fucking Benzes and S-classes and this and that. And I'm like, bro, and let's be real, bro. You got a good credit. You got 5 racks. You walking out the Benz with any Benz you want. All my drug dealing friends have better whips than some of these industry rappers, bro.
But you're also forgetting, nigga, when, you know what I'm saying, when they're done with the car, they just bring it back to the place they rented it.
Or leased it. Right. Yeah, that's what he said.
Jewelry and all of that shit,
my God. You got 5 racks and good credit. You walk out, you can have a Phantom for the day.
Facts. I mean, I'm just saying, you can finance or lease a car. Yeah. You know, $5,000, $10,000, depending how big you want to go, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you got good credit, if you own cribs already, if you got your shit established, bro, you can get any car you really want.
Yeah, bro. And we live in the era of just fake shit, fake news.
Everything's fake,
everything you see on social media is bullshit.
It's fake. Yeah.
You show your and not just people with their riches, people with their happiness. Like, people project only the happiest moments of their life.
Yo, so I mean, that's another topic, but yeah, I mean, I see that all the time. You know, I'm like, people are more depressed, more so, and they show it by pretending to be happy on Instagram.
100%. Or they do a pity party and show themselves in the hospital bed.
I'm like, bro, listen,
after an accident. I hate those people that take the picture of them in the hospital.
Because it's human reward. You need that. You need something. You need someone to show you love for something.
Feel bad for me.
Yeah. Yo, it's a lot of insecurity, bro. Simply put.
And it makes it worse because everywhere you look, everyone's doing it. So when you're not measuring up to everyone else, you automatically
think you're a loser.
You cast a shadow on your own life.
That, bro.
You know what I think of when niggas do that? I'd be like, I'm never posting a picture of me injured because I'm a rapper. Like, a nigga do a diss record and use that as artwork, like he put me in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I always feel like
took it to
that. Yeah, that's why I never did it.
You shouldn't worry about diss records. They don't put people out like they used to anymore anyway. Yeah, so you should be fine.
Man,
yo, Jay, I do want to wrap this up. Any last words from anybody? And Jay, thank you for coming through, obviously. Tug.
Wrap it up.
AKA Fat Bible. Do you like him calling himself Fat Bible? What do you think about that?
I don't really
He's
care.
reinventing himself. Would you reinvent yourself and name yourself anything else but J.Cardim?
I was going to be Jonas.
He's coming out as Jonas.
Jonas Cardim.
Nah,
The
what is
Lost
it?
Jonas Brother.
Jonas Quintiliano.
Yep.
It's gonna be
It
my
should be
new tag.
Jonas' cousin.
Nah, Jonas Quintiliano, bro.
Jonas brothers, Jonas cousins.
Nah,
Jonas' cousin.
Johnny Giuliano's old tag.
Yeah, Jonas.
Johnny Giuliano. We'll go Jonas Quintiliano.
That's such a random person to mention.
His middle name is Quintiliano. That's
Oh, it is?
That's my real middle name.
Oh,
bro.
perfect.
He doesn't know he's Italian.
Jonas Q.
Yeah, or JQ.
JQ. Love it.
Is the man on your polo hat black or white? He's Brazilian.
This guy?
No, it's a brown horse. All right. Well, let me see.
That's how we ended it off.
Brown horse with a white man on it. That's kind of race, my man.
All right, Tug. Any last words before we get out of here?
You got drugs?
My last words are
Let's go
simple.
smoke a blunt.
J.Cardim. Those are my last
That's
words.
the old tag, bro.
So
Yo, Jay.
I'm not doing another nigga's tag that you could have used mine, bro. Fuck out of here.
Well, Jay, thank you for coming through,
you're welcome.
and I hope to see you back behind those boards again, man. I hope to see your name in them lights again.
Maybe.
I mean,
Can we do what we were going
It's
to do
time.
on the podcast if we didn't have to be serious? What we were really
What we're gonna do?
Just make mad noises.
I don't know anything about that, bro.
Yeah, Tug.
He's acting
I
like
don't
a
know.
good
Jay
old
only does
kid
that in
right
private.
I don't know anything about that. But
Yo.
if you go to Tug's Instagram, you see the stories, a lot of crazy shit.
now. Better be like with hook.
Yo, one thing I wanted to do, because usually when we end the podcast, we end with the song that you produced. But instead, I want to end with the song. It's kind of a unreleased world premiere, so to speak, because Zach talked about
Yeah,
on the last
it's
podcast.
unreleased,
It's
John.
the record for the In Crowd, which was Joe Budden feat with Tug on it. It was the collab with them, but that was never released. It ended up being put out with Chief C and so
Emilio
and then
Rojas.
I
So I
ended
was
up getting
and
on
Emilio
Emilio
Rojas.
Rojas actually got mad at me and never became my friend because of that. Again.
Watch out! That's about to fall.
corners.
But let me hear this original verse. I don't even
So
remember this.
we're gonna end it with this. It's like you unlock it by hitting down, down, forward punch, like in Street
yeah,
Fighter.
pretty
And this is
much.
how you unlock it. The hidden
They
Tug,
got cheat codes online for
the
it.
hidden Tug verse, and we're gonna end the podcast with this, and we out of here, man.
Fax machine, man. Go scoff at my nigga J. Kiddu, man. He's in
J.Cardim
the
on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
At J.Cardim.
Ain't nothing interesting there, bro.
C-A-R-
All I talk about is stocks.
CARDIM. All right, here we go. This is Get It Up, Joe Budden and Tug.
Yo, circa 01, homeboy, he a vet. I'll make him have a deep regret like tequila's neck. Word is I made the old cats be upset, cause I'm a student of the game, not a teacher's pet. Handsome homie, fam don't know me, would've brought New York back, but I left that for Dan and Tony. Damn that, Joey one of the wildest. Picked this myself, wasn't done by stylists. If I bait a nigga, it ain't done with malice. Just means I'm boys having fun with the cowards. Temper, your gender's tender. Your lightweight sweet, you in splendor similar. Look, motherfuckers keep asking where you been, Joe. I'm in a Jersey strip club with my brim low. A few grands in my pocket, predator on the loose. Yeah, nigga, Chris Hansen can't stop it.
Captain of my team, baby, ball is perfection. When I play up on that court, there's no benches. Every morning I wake up and take a piss, I'm born perfection. Right now I'm shitting success, even the toilet's impressed with. Asking if I'm the best, that's a rhetorical question. I already know who the best is. The rest is actresses. Call the directors, make a scene. I send a round of applause your direction. Talking shit. And it's hate for niggas is pouring in that bitch. So please don't pay it if you can't afford the attention. I'm moving that John McCain, call me for an election. Had Democrat, got rock stars in my necklace. Am I out of my mind or is my mind out of me, man? Cause I only think left cause I can't think straight. And I only look right cause I can't see straight. I'm blinded by that limelight, please that's my Louis V shade. I put my ghetto and my city on. Running this street I'm living on. Cause little nigga I'm on. And we ain't leaving too much room for them. I'm really hoping that you're tuning in. Cause little nigga I'm on. And I'ma get it up.